No, never give up, never surrender.
We're exporting a whole lot of really bad and dangerous rhetoric, bad research, and unfortunately it's being picked up and amplified in other countries.
Never forget the elephant in the room. It's actually such a big elephant that I don't think people can even breathe in that room because it's such a huge elephant. It's the number one preventable cause of death in Australia. So when you are taking a precautionary approach, when you're like, no, we just don't know enough, I just tell them, shut up, because that just I don't know is killing people right now.
We're worried that, in fact, a lot of members of the public still think that using an e-cigarette is as harmful as smoking a cigarette. I mean, I have said that it would be tragic if smokers didn't quit and carried on smoking because they hadn't tried an e-cigarette, because they were worried about the safety of an e-cigarette.
It's not about really quitting smoking. Their ideological viewpoint against vaping is so strong and so weird. Like, honestly, it's just weird. I don't know why it invokes this incredible sort of anger from these people. I mean, this colleague of mine said to me when I first moved to get the inquiry up, her comment to me was, why don't they just use a patch? And I said to her, do you smoke? And she's like, no. I said, have you ever smoked? And she said, no. And I said, well, shut up then. You don't know how hard it is to quit smoking.
Engorged penis.
You know, I was trying to do something really cool there, and I think I forgot to hit the damn button to allow sound to be shared. So we'll do that again later. We'll fix this. I'm not perfect all the time. I make a mistake here and there. It happens. Don't yell at me. Seriously. Don't yell at me. I might cry. So anyway, what the hell is going on? It's Friday night. How the hells are you doing? Are you having fun? Are you looking forward to the weekend? I hope so. But anyway, welcome and hello to Son of Liberty Radio on the Smoke Free Radio Network. Hi, how are you? I see there's people here. Hello, peoples. I will say your names in a little bit to make you feel like I care. Because I actually do about the people here, but other people, I don't really care about them. But anyway, Kevin is here. There was a tweet earlier today by the Kevin. Do you call her the cranky old broad or the grumpy old broad? I can't remember.
Cranky old broad.
Cranky old broad. Yeah, she wanted to know if there was a show, and I was like, well, of course there's a damn show. Why wouldn't there be a damn show? And then she said, well, it was two questions. And is there a guest? And I was like, well, of course. I will be having the greatest guest ever. The greatest guest ever at Vaping It will be on the show tonight.
That's right.
At Vaping It is on the show tonight. So I felt bad. And hello, Jeffrey Zamora.
No, you didn't.
I'm going to have Jeffrey. What? I'm going to get Jeffrey on the show. I'm going to get Jeffrey on the show in the future because he is a safer nicotine superhero, which the video that you guys couldn't hear was all about. So, hey, before we bring in the third chucklehead, because there is a third chucklehead tonight, let me Let me redo that. I feel like I didn't give Charles the respect that he deserved because I screwed up his video. So let's redo that. Let's redo this real quick. Everybody, like, turn your time machines back like 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. A few minutes. Okay, here we go. Ready, set, go. All right, is it there? Okay.
Hello, and welcome to Safer Nicotine Superheroes. My name is Charles Gardner. I'm the executive director of INCO is a nonprofit organization that supports the rights and well-being of 98 million adults worldwide who use safer nicotine in order to quit or reduce their use of toxic forms of tobacco. We are 40 member organizations in 35 countries. The leaders of those organizations are safer nicotine superheroes. Over the coming months, I'm going to be interviewing the leaders of those organizations. I'm going to ask them 5 questions. Have you lost a loved one to smoking? How do you feel about big tobacco? What are the conditions like in your country in terms of policies and laws on safer nicotine products? And tell me about your smoker's journey, your personal story. And finally, I'll ask a surprise question. So I look forward to seeing you on Safer Nicotine Superheroes.
I think it's pretty cool. I think that was a pretty cool little video. I really think that we need to maybe get him a microphone. Kevin, you're muted.
I thought when I saw him at first doing this, that it was part of a pre-show from you, and I watched and I was like, oh, okay.
No, it isn't. But yeah, I know that I suggested to him on the pre-show last week that, you know, Inco could probably buy him a microphone. They're not expensive.
Yep.
You know, this one wasn't. You know, this one is pretty fancy, but it's less than $100, I think, or just over $100.
Yeah.
So yeah, Charles, if he's going to be doing like a podcast type thing, we need to figure out a way to make up some money for him so that he can get a microphone. Everybody send Charles like $5. If everybody sends Charles $5, then you know, he can get a mic.
That's right.
Because we want him to sound powerful, because he is a powerful, smart guy.
And sound better than me.
Well, you sound fine, except for the air blowing on the microphone that you know, for some reason we had like several like shows right in a row that you didn't have the hum in the background.
Yeah.
And now it's back and it's there. I don't know what you did before, but fix it. Fix it.
I don't know.
Yes, and Jeffrey, I know that you're in with that group, but you know, because you're an awesome dude. Make a suggestion that he get a microphone, please, because I think it'll be awesome. It'll be even more awesome if his audio quality is banging. So, anywho, since Kevin is here and we didn't have a guest scheduled, and Paul did reach out to me in the middle of the week and said, dude, we need to do like a quick pop-up show. Well, Thomas says that bots hum like, you know. So
that's right.
I accidentally on purpose sent him the link.
Yeah.
So There's Tic Tac.
See, there you go.
Here we go. It's already started from the get-go. G'day,
Well,
boys.
I mean, you made some sort of Freudian slip and put it in your name. It's right there on screen. Paul/Labworks Tic Tac.
It'll be all right.
Here we go. Here we go.
I don't know what's going on there, Kevin, but you accidentally on purposely put that on there. For Paul.
No, I didn't.
He's
Patrick's
just saying.
changing shit again.
Sir, that would be a an allegation that you cannot prove. So Kevin and Paul, what the hell's been going on with you guys in the the last few days? Because I'd seen Kevin like 7 days ago, and I actually spoke to you after last week's show, Paul. So what the hell's been going on?
Yep.
And
What
Pippa
have I
does
been
want to
doing?
know. Pippa wants to know why the nickname that she gave you has stuck.
Because it fits. It's small, and we like it. It's fun.
Here we go.
I mean, now Will Webb is suggesting that I do a menthol mint Tic Tac flavor as a limited run. Since I only make for myself, it would be a limited run. But I wouldn't name it Tic Tac. I would just call it Paul.
Yeah, okay. Not a problem.
Because I do name all of my flavors. Like this is called Sabbath. And this one's called Leviathan. You can't see it, but it's called Leviathan. And they all have
Tom
names.
already wants some. Here we go again.
Yeah, 12 milligrams for Tom. I'll get on the phone with the lab right now, Tom, and have them make that.
I think
But,
likes orange.
Well, orange Tic Tac is pretty good, actually. It is. But what the hell you guys have been doing? What's up? Chit chat. Nothing.
I got the boy tomorrow, so I'm all excited. I don't know if he is or not yet. I can't wait.
Well,
He's
not running around in the background right now.
No, I tried kidnapping him last week. That didn't really work out real well, so we're gonna get him tomorrow.
I did see that. Is there a new home? Is there a new home? I saw a photograph of a new home.
Yeah, his mama and her boyfriend, not my son, finally got an apartment. So that's really, really good because now he has his own room, and he's away from all the little shitheads that were surrounding him, being bad influences like you guys are on me. So there you go.
Sir.
What?
Sir. Bad influence.
Sir.
I'm a stabilizing force. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
It sounds like it sounds like Kevin's got his own censoring button installed now somehow.
Cashew flavor.
Cashew. I'm sure they have it.
I might
So-
even actually try that.
There's a
Yeah, I know. Tic Tac is in lockdown, hard lockdown at the moment. Can't go to the store anymore.
you
That's
can't go to
fine.
the store. Why are you on hard lockdown?
Oh, COVID. More fun and games with COVID.
Is there an increase in COVID?
Yeah, that too.
Really? So
Yeah.
on the COVID front, this is kind of funny. I was at a patient's house yesterday, and they had on one of the news channels. And on the news channel, they were discussing this explosion of COVID cases all across the globe, right? So they said that this massive amount, I don't even know how many new cases worldwide, but then they said if you add the new cases in Texas, the new cases in Missouri, and I believe the third state was Florida. They said if you add those three states together, that the new cases in those three states take up 40% of the new COVID worldwide flavors, or not flavors, cases. I was reading Bruni, and Bruni had put the word flavor, and he spelled it with a U, and that drives me crazy.
Yeah, I do that sometimes
so
by accident.
I'm kind of baffled here. I mean, we've had here I live in Texas, so I'm living in one of the states that's the so-called culprit. We have had a slight uptick at the hospital here locally. We went from having something like 35 cases in the hospital to 105 cases in the hospital in the last, I don't know, 3 weeks maybe. I mean, I don't look at it every day. I do remember looking at it like 3 weeks ago, and it was only 35, and I looked at it yesterday, and it was 105. So there is an uptick. I don't know how I mean, I don't know if that's a horrible increase or not, but it's tripled. I guess you could say it's tripled. But 97% of the people that are hospitalized with this new variant or whatever the fuck you want to call it are unvaccinated people. And only 3% of the people that are in the hospital were vaccinated prior to. So I don't know if that proves to anyone that the vaccine works, but apparently the vaccine does work because 97% of the people that are in the hospital refuse to get the fucking shot. So, you can take that for whatever the fuck you want, but it does seem like maybe, I don't know. I don't remember. Will's asking me what network. I don't remember what network it was. So, yeah. But, speaking of the COVID.
Oh, the COVID.
Speaking of the COVID, another COVID thing. So this week, I took it upon myself to slap the Surgeon Corporal, ex-Surgeon General Jerry.
Thank you.
General Jerry, because he opened his mouth and I think he deserved what he got. So I'm gonna find the tweet here. I'm finding the tweet. I found the tweet. So Jerry's replying to Dan Diamond, who must be a reporter or something. So Dan Diamond is sharing a piece from the Washington Post about the COVID. So Dan says, new mask mandates are set to make a comeback as experts warn of hyper-transmissible Delta variant. Universal masking indoors is a way of taking care of each other while we get more people vaccinated. LA, blah, blah, blah. And there's a thing. So I want you to say this right here. You see this word? Experts warn. All right. So then Jerry says, 1, Delta variant is a bigger deal than most people think it is. 2, our best protection is vaccinations, but we are not close to population level herd immunity, and we still don't know how well vaccines prevent Delta spread versus severe disease. And 3, COVID isn't going away soon.
Okay.
So I had to quote tweet him, and I had to say, I don't think he meant you, Jerome Adams. He said experts. And you were the guy that tweeted, I'm not worried about COVID-19. And I remember you on Fox News telling people not to wear masks. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like I shouldn't have to make this guy relevant. I shouldn't have to. We had a horrible Surgeon General.
Deplorable Surgeon General.
No, I'm going back a little bit with Vivek.
Oh, Vivek, yeah.
And then we had I can't remember. Was there somebody in? Yeah, there was a temporary person in between, and I can't remember what her name was. I do remember that it was a lady. And then Jerry,
yeah,
who was repugnant and a science denier and common sense ignorer, whatever you want to call it. And then obviously now, what's really funny though with all of this stuff, because here's the tweet: early on flight. You underscored this. No one with masks. They aren't recommended for the general public. But notice several people using antibacterial wipes on seats. I do this too.
Me too.
I'm not worried about COVID-19. I'm worried about the flu. and the guy reclining all the way back into me before takeoff. So that is all. I'm not worried about COVID-19 right there. I'm not worried about COVID-19.
March 6th.
But this is from last March 6th, not this most recent March 6th.
Right,
this is a full year and a half ago or whatever. So there was a piece here that I found just now pre-show, and this is former Surgeon General says CDC mask guidance premature and wrong. This is brand new. This is from the last 5 days. Well, the CDC is releasing new guidelines that are relaxing masking. So now he's arguing with the CDC. Now before he was always defending his choice or his statements by saying, well, the CDC guidance says. He wouldn't stand up to the CDC when he was Surgeon General. He was carrying their fucking water for them. And now all of a sudden, it says former U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams, or Jerry, said coronavirus mask guidance may be premature and wrong in the face of potentially dangerous new variants.
What the
so
hell?
now he's willing to stand up to the CDC and say, no, you shouldn't relax the mask guidance. Adams served as Surgeon General under former President Donald Trump, taking a prominent role throughout the early phase of the pandemic. He recently took to Twitter to voice his own regrets and concerns over mask mandates since then. Last year, Tony Fauci and I famously, prematurely, and wrongly advised against masks.
I wonder who was telling him that.
You see, he just threw Tony under the bus. You see that?
Yep.
He just threw Tony under the bus. But he did say, and I famously, prematurely, and wrongly advised against masks. So he is admitting that he was wrong.
Wow.
Adams wrote in a rare admission of a misstep. Rare admission. They at least are admitting that he rarely admits that he's wrong. I felt it was the best call at the time, but now I regret it. So he says, I'm worried the CDC also made a similarly premature, misinterpreted, and yet still harmful call on masking in the face of rising Delta variant. He urged the CDC to instead advise people to get vaccinated and wear masks in areas with higher cases of COVID-19 until numbers start to decline. So this is a rare opportunity. This is a rare thing because this jerk we've been calling for a year, trying to get him to admit that he was wrong. And now he's slightly,
we told him he was wrong before he knew he was wrong to begin with.
Well, I told him he was wrong even before the COVID. I mean, we were banging on his door telling him he was an idiot, and we made him cry and embarrassed him, and then he stopped talking to us. But sadly, he's now admitted that he's wrong. And the new Surgeon General, Vivek, the new old Surgeon General, Vivek, and we showed this last week, but I'll just mention it in passing, put out a statement and a thing trying to correct health misinformation on social media. Mm-hmm. But yet he still won't admit that he, is an idiot when it comes to talking about vaping. Won't even. Exactly. It's
all bullshit. Double plus good.
It is all the bullshit. But
I wonder if we can get him to change his mind on other topics now as well.
He can't change his freaking underwear.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed after what?
You mean
4
Vivek?
years?
Wait a minute. Do you mean Vivek, Paul?
No, Jerry. Let's see if I can poke him with a. No,
I've been poking him. He's not responding. I poked him. I poked him twice this week, and he's still not responding.
He hasn't blocked
everyone.
He has not blocked me. I think he muted me.
He muted you. All right.
Probably.
That's acceptable.
Everyone poke him with a stick. Might as well.
Most people don't block me though, Kevin.
I know.
Simon did finally. Most people don't block me, but there's a pave woman that has blocked me. One of the pave women's.
It's just because of your loving, caring character. That's
one of the pave women's and some dude. Some dude named Simon Chapman. What's really funny now is I can't even I can't even like search his name.
Yes, you can.
I just typed his name in and it won't come up.
So go to
private browser.
Well,
Private browser,
I don't want
that's all
to. I
you
don't want to
gotta
go. I don't want to do private dancer right now. But yes. Now there was another thing. This is another sort of black eye for the Biden White House when it comes to tobacco policy.
Mm-hmm.
No, Tahir won't block me, but I don't interact with him anymore. Like he's I don't know why anybody actually pays any attention to him. He has like 35 followers or something. He's irrelevant. But y'all keep adding him and y'all keep responding to him. He's on Bloomberg's payroll. He doesn't care what you say. He's getting a paycheck. But this is kind of a black eye here for the Biden White House. And let me rub this a little bit because it's going to be small text. It looks like maybe Kamala Harris's chief of staff. Her name is Tina Flournoy. Fought to shield big tobacco from liability, as Philip Morris exec memos. So they apparently a memo said her profile or portfolio included working to kill Medicaid liability bills. So there were these bills, these laws that were going to come up in like 1996, and she fought to kill those bills because they would make the tobacco companies liable for the treatments of patients that were on Medicaid.
Well, there's a contract, Patrick.
Yeah. Well, this was before.
Oh, that's right, 96. Yeah.
Yes, this was before. So, I think that's interesting. I'm not going to sit here and read it, but look at this woman. Look at her. She's cutting her eyes at people. Look at that. It's not a friendly face right there. It's kind of a. But yes, she is the chief of staff for Kamala Harris. You should have waited until I said Kamala Harris to do the squeaky sound. Anyway, and she actually worked aggressively, apparently, to protect.
Well, yeah.
PMI.
Well, yeah.
Protect. I'm just saying.
Addie asked a little bit ago. I wonder if you ever had time to read the Royal College of Physicians study.
Well,
I asked if he's read it.
I don't think he will acknowledge that Connolly gave it to him.
Oh yeah, but we have screenshots, so
we do have photographs. We have photographic evidence, but I don't believe that he will even acknowledge that. So I just wanted. I'm not going to read it. The link for the piece is in the show notes. But for anybody who feels like maybe this is a left-right purple thing, no, it's not, because the Democrats have protected the tobacco company just as much as the Republicans have.
Yeah. There's a contract.
Well, that was later. It's not a contract. It is a legally binding agreement.
Agreement contract.
That's not the same thing.
It's all the same.
It's not the same. So last week, Kevin, you sent me this link, and we didn't get a chance. We didn't get a chance to cover this.
Okay.
So this is from the Moffett Center, Cancer Center, and this is published in the Lancet.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lancet is like one of those very prestigious journals.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about journals in a little bit, because I want to clear. This is something that we covered already, but I do think that we need to discuss this one more time. Because
let me preface this for you for a second.
Well, I'm going to throw the Lancet up real. I'm throwing it up.
Okay.
And you can talk. You can talk.
Okay.
I got to click some buttons here. Make sure I click all the buttons. There you go. Boom. The Lancet.
Mm-hmm.
There, I'm gonna kill this button there. All right. What does this say, Kevin?
Targeted smoking cessation for dual users of combustible and electronic cigarettes, a randomized control trial, which they say don't exist, RCT.
Yes, that's the gold standard, right? Didn't I always hear that gold standard?
Allegedly. That's
in
correct.
science.
Allegedly.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of names here. There's Ursula Martinez and Vannie Simmons and Stephen Sutton. Hey, I can say all these names. David Drobes and Lauren Meltzer, and Karen O'Brien, or Karen Bryan. O is her middle name. She's not an O'Brandon. But anyway, so there's a summary. It says here, although many smokers use this is the sentence that makes me mad, Kevin. I don't know if you actually put this in there as a pro or against piece. Is this supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? Because it was reported in a vape media thing, which I will not share on screen because I have a problem with vaping media because, anyway.
Cranky old broad's awake.
I did see her. I did. She apparently took her Geritol. It says, although many smokers use electronic cigarettes to quit smoking, this line here, this very next 5 words, piss me off. Yep. Most continue to smoke while vaping.
But it's okay to use the patch while you're vaping, or Chantix while you're vaping.
No, not while you're vaping,
or
because
smoking.
they would never say use Chantix while you vape,
Smoking.
They would say smoke while you use the Chantix and
Absolutely.
smoke while you use the patch, but they would never say vape because then they would be promoting harm reduction. But anyway, this dual use might delay cessation and increase toxicant exposure. We aimed to test the efficacy of a self-help intervention designed to help dual users quit smoking. That's right. So, in the methods, in this 3-arm randomized control trial, we recruited individuals in the USA using Facebook and multimedia advertisements, including participants were 18 years or older. Hey, wait a minute. Kevin.
What?
18 years or older?
I don't know. I'm just letting you make your own decisions. I thought it was 21 too, but
okay. Smoked at least weekly in the preceding year and vaped at least weekly in the preceding month. We used computer-generated randomization with balanced permuted blocks, block size 10 with a 2:4:4 ratio to allocate participants to assessment-only group, generic smoking cessation self-help booklets group, and booklets targeted to dual users. They're going to call that E-target group. So apparently they divided this up into blocks of 10, and then they divided it into a 2:4:4 ratio. So 2 people got the assessment booklet. This was like a workbook, I'm assuming, or something. Then 4 people got a generic smoking cessation self-help booklet, and 4 people got a book targeting dual users. So individuals in the generic or targeted intervention group received monthly cessation materials for 18 months with assessments every 3 months for 24 months. The main outcome was self-reported 7-day point prevalence smoking abstinence at each assessment point. The main outcome was self-reported 7. Okay, so what they wanted, their goal was to see if people could quit in 7 days. That's what it says. The main outcome was self-report. That's what they wanted, I guess. All randomly allocated participants were included in primary analysis using generalized estimating equations for each 20 data sets created to multiple imputation analysis of the X squared produced. See, I don't this is science speak here, Kevin. Science speak.
Correct.
And it so anyway, the findings. This I guess might be dummy proof. We might be able to understand this. So between July 12th of 2016 and June 30th of 2017, we randomly assigned 2,896 dual users, 575 to the assessment group, 1,154 to the generic intervention group, and 1,167 to the targeted self-help group. 7-day point prevalent smoking abstinence increased from 14% at 3 months to 42% at 24 months in the overall sample. So they're saying that they did a pretty good job of getting people, early on, it was only 14% at 3 months. It went to 42% at 24 months. So that's pretty good, Kevin, don't you think?
And they were 18-year-olds smoking between 16 and 17.
Yes. Well, in some states, yes.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, why did you share this to me? What was the purpose?
Ed shared with me quite a while back. This is like 2014, a Moffett study that was in what's the big forum, the original forum there, ECF forum, where I think it was Bill Godshall that put in there that they
Godshall.
They buried the information and they never released it. It was a 78% success rate with Moffett Center. Then the Moffett Center, which I'm pretty sure Nick is familiar with and probably in contact with, I think is what he's mentioned, did another study, and they released a statement quite a while back that it's obviously safer, and I don't understand why anybody's not paying attention. And now Ed believes he actually was in this study itself as well. So the National Institute on Drug Abuse, NADA, Cancer Institute, and I think it's Moffett Center is also in here for funding, but they are doing things like this, included with the National Institute on Drug Abuse, and they've been doing it because NIDA was also with the one Bill Godshall mentioned. So it's not like they don't know shit. They do know shit.
Well, yeah, but this is essentially talking about the efficacy of a handout,
right?
In helping smokers and dual users,
right?
Stop.
Yeah. So you could also color, as we well know, and blow bubbles and drink from straws.
Apparently, their interpretation is that the targeted self-help intervention, the targeted, I'm assuming, workbook, the one that is specifically targeted to the problem at hand, has high potential for dissemination and could be efficacious in promoting smoking cessation among dual users of combustible cigarettes and e-cigarettes. So they spent a lot of fucking money on this, Kevin, and they're saying that the handout that they gave out that was specifically targeted to the problem that they were trying to solve helped.
Right. Counseling, basically. Self-help counseling.
So the generic one wasn't helpful because it wasn't focused on the problem that they were trying to solve. The targeted one was, and the assessment, which is just the first one, is like, hey, do you smoke? Right. Or hey, do you vape? Or do you do both? That's an assessment. So apparently the because that's the two. So they had fewer people in that group because they knew it wasn't going to fucking work because it was just generic bullshit, an assessment. And then obviously the larger group in the middle for the generic help might have had some positivity to it, but the one that was specifically focused on the target that they were trying to hit, that one worked. It seems like common sense to me, Kevin.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
isn't that nice?
Yeah, kind of.
Because I don't buy into the counseling has to go with anything specifically, because as a smoker, for me, I'm not speaking for anyone but me, because if my doctor said, here, take this Chantix and your color in this book, I tell him to go fuck himself, or I have to come back every week and talk to him. Every time you feel the urge to smoke, get a color and fill in the coloring book and a straw, and you fuck off. And I don't need that. I can't help myself. Now, it may work with other people. Maybe a booklet will work. Maybe a coloring book can be helpful. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Anytime you have the urge to smoke,
I just don't. You
pop
punch
the rubber
fuck
band
out of
on your
somebody.
wrist. You know,
Yeah, exactly. Shave your head. Do whatever works. I don't care.
Self torture, man. That's the best way.
It's okay.
Punish yourself for those.
Punch your doctor, Will. Exactly.
Yeah, Will, you are right there.
Kevin. So Colin Mendelson.
Yes.
Tweeted the other day.
Yes.
And we're going to share this tweet because this is because it gives Charles, our new best friend, Charles, a moment to actually shine. But Colin always shines as well. We love Colin. It says here, Colin says, the missing youth epidemic, ! Daily vaping occurs in fewer than 1% of national samples of children and adolescents in most countries. And a review of 26 national surveys, youth aged 8 to 20, no daily vaping data for Australia. And this is from the Lancet again. So there's this prevalence of electronic nicotine delivery systems and electronic non-nicotine delivery systems in children and adolescents, a systemic review and meta-analysis. According to Kevin's best friend, Dr. Puffenstuff, meta-analysis is the actual gold standard.
What?
Yeah, because everything he publishes is meta-analysis.
That's something I've heard. I don't know.
So it says here, the most recent prevalence data from 26 national surveys representing 69 countries and territories with a median sample size of 3,925 children and adolescents was included. In children and adolescents aged 8 and younger than 20, 8 to 20, the pooled prevalence forever, defined as any lifetime use of ENDS or ENDS with 2N, which is a non-nicotine delivery, use was 17, and that's 2% or 95. So there's sample numbers here. Right. Whereas for current use, defined as use in past 30 days, the pooled prevalence estimate was 7 plus 8. So the pooled estimate for occasional use is 0.8.
So it's illegal to have those in Australia, yes?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
But
now, but wait, there's more. So if you scroll down here to the bottom, right here, I can't see if you can see my mousy mouse.
Yeah.
It says the word funding in red.
Yep.
And it
WHO.
says World Health Organization and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
There you go.
It's really interesting though that there's no data submitted for Australia yet. The Australian government saying that we've got an epidemic of vaping here.
Bullshit. You're welcome.
Well, but no, the video that I have of Mike Hunt or Greg Hunt on TV is referring to in multiple times the American youth vaping epidemic.
Correct.
It's adopted.
Yeah. Our friends in America are having this problem, so we must also be having this problem.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, Charlie, our friend Charles or Chauncey, Chauncey says, so there it is in a study funded by World Health Organization and Gates Foundation, 26 national surveys in 69 countries and territories, pooled daily use 0.8%, and most smoked first.
Correct.
That's it. That's the global teen vaping epidemic. Will tobacco control now? #quit lying. And then there's a link to the actual Lancet study, the full text of the study. So seriously, why is it that we're the only ones that see the hypocrisy in this?
Right.
It's
Exactly.
it's getting out. It's out of control here in Australia. The rhetoric that's coming out and the rules and all the new powers that the TGA is being given, we don't understand it. No one seems to understand what the hell's going on here. But Dr. Mendelssohn's 100% right. It's an absolute joke. 100% right.
Yep.
Yeah. I just have to say yeah.
Yeah.
So Kevin.
What?
Kevin, did you see, we covered this like 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. We covered that Pfizer.
Oh yeah.
Pfizer had found some tobacco-specific nitrosamines in their Chantix.
Yeah.
And
carcinogenic.
They were those, at certain levels can be carcinogenic. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't understand is they voluntarily pulled that off the market. And I'm actually looking from the tweet that I tweeted when that happened. And my God, I tweet enough that I may not be able to find it. But I mean, my tweet basically said, hey,
It's voluntary.
smoking is bad and you must quit because it causes cancer.
Yeah.
But don't you dare try to quit using that vaping thing that doesn't cause cancer. Use your Chantix. Use your Chantix that could cause cancer instead. So this week, the FDA made an announcement.
There
Kevin,
you go. Yep.
They made an announcement that if you want to quit smoking, you can go ahead and still use that Chantix that has the cancer-causing ingredients. That they're going to voluntarily, or they're going to say, to ensure patient access, FDA will not object.
Mm-hmm.
Will not object to the temporary distribution of Chantix tablets with nitrosamine below then there's an interim. They've increased the acceptable limits of this cancer-causing agent in their stop smoking drug.
But the FDA will not object.
They
want to make sure everybody sees that. Will not object.
They do not object. You can have you can get cancer. It's okay for you to get cancer if you get it from Chantix. But how dare you try to quit smoking? How dare you try to quit smoking with something that's not approved by us that doesn't cause cancer?
And we covered this. I'm going to do a real quick sentence. Gottlieb was the guy that fast-tracked it in. Then it was black boxed.
Oh, here I found it.
Then they removed some wording, and then they stuck it right back out. And now, after it's been approved for regulation, now they suddenly find some carcinogenic bullshit in it.
Yeah,
well,
this is a piece from Reuters that Christopher Snowden.
Yeah,
we love Christopher Snowden.
Well
Christopher
respected.
Snowden. So the regulator said the health benefits of stopping smoking outweighed the cancer risk from nitrosamine impurity in Chantix. This is a country that has gone to war on e-cigarettes because of theoretical health risks.
Unbelievable.
So this nitrosamines, we know for a fact,
those are safe.
Easily, that's a different Snowden, by the way. We'll grab.
Right.
This is actually a good Christopher. This is Christopher Snowden. He's the good Snowden. This is a country that has gone to war on e-cigarettes because of theoretical risks. But it's okay for you to take this pill that we know has a cancer-causing agent in it. So
we don't object.
I found my tweet. It says, "Stay away from vaping. Science says that it's safer, helps people quit smoking, and it contains that dastardly safer nicotine. Take Chantix. That might cause cancer. It's okay to get cancer as long as you get it from Chantix instead of cigarettes." That's
this is the tweet. This is the tweet that made me think, "Wow, you are a genius."
Because you didn't. You just laughed because I used the word dastardly.
I love that. I can't believe you did. I was so happy.
You sent a response. You sent a response going, "Ha ha, dastardly, ha ha." But you didn't call me a genius.
Well, I said it on air. The fuck do you want from me?
That
I don't even like you.
I know. We all know.
So let me encapsulate this for the audience. If you smoke and you are prescribed Chantix, it's not being taken off the market for any reason because the FDA will not object to you still using it. Because the risk for cancer in using a drug that does a whole bunch of other things that has been black boxed for.
No, they agreed to remove the black box.
And then has been removed. My thought process is too slow. I haven't had enough caffeine yet. And it's okay for them to allow that. They're going to let that ride. We're going to just see what happens because things like Zantac, which I did take because I thought I had an ulcer, I think that was carcinogenic, but I don't recall for sure. It was cancer causing, whatever was in there. It's been out on the market for fucking 20 years. And by the way,
Zantac is still on the market. Tagament is off the market.
I apologize to the other company then. Tagament is yanked, right? It was yanked, I believe. 20 years later, of course. But I thought when you went into the regulation process that they checked everything. Isn't that what the e-cigarette market is trying to do?
Okay, let me clear this up.
They want to hear science, right?
Let me clear this up for you. So,
am I wrong?
You're wrong. You're clearly wrong. So here, let me clear this up for you. So they want people that have money to hand them paper and say this is science and this is what the paper says.
Oh,
but they don't actually ever look at that. I mean, I have, we talked to Chris Howard, on actual tobacco products,
right?
That they submitted PMTAs for that are not vaping related. They submitted all the documentation, and he says in the interview, they just put it on a shelf. They never actually looked at it. So that's what they want.
Exactly.
They want you to say, here's the science. They're not gonna actually spend any money.
And they don't care where it comes from.
Double check your science.
Yeah.
They might look at, like, I think they're gonna scrutinize the PMTAs put in by Vapor just because they want to. They clearly don't want to regulate the number of PMTA. They just don't want to. I mean, if you think about it, what are we looking at? Something like 6 million PMTAs that have been submitted or something like that. It's some multi-million number. It's between 5 and 6 million or something like that. Do you actually think the FDA could regulate that many products, let alone once to regulate that many products? They don't want to. They don't want to regulate 1/10 of that.
Nope.
They don't want to regulate 1/100th of that. They want to regulate, as many of you. How many brands of cigarettes are on the market?
30.
I mean, 40. I'm going to say that's the same number of vaping products that they want to regulate.
And those within those, 5 are owned by one company, 7 are owned by another. So it's it's simple.
I mean, they clearly. No government agency has the manpower to regulate that many products. I mean, realistically, it's just not. It's not happening, and they don't want to regulate. I mean, C-stores are easy to regulate because they're uniform, and pretty much any C-store looks like any other C-store in the inside. The tobacco cigarettes are right there in the same spot in every store. In most places, the cigarettes are even on the shelf in the same places. That's easy for them because it's uniform. They can walk in, they can glance, not stand and glance. Glance. They can glance at the cigarettes and make any determination that they need to quickly, because there's 300,000 convenience stores in the United States.
One email will cover every one of them, I'm sure.
So they can hit NATO, which is the C-store thing, their club, their union, or whatever you want to call it. Vape shops. I mean, how many vape shops are left in the United States? Somewhere between 7,000 and 10,000, maybe. And no two are alike.
Nope.
I mean, they can't go in and monitor those things in the same uniform way they can a convenience store. No. So, yeah, I mean, I believe if they're going to scrutinize anything, it's going to be our PMTAs. It's going to be the PMTAs put in by Open Vapor that they're really going to scrutinize.
Yep.
And yeah, you know, I just don't believe that I don't believe that they want to, nor do they have the manpower and the capability to regulate this many products.
No, it's impossible.
And to be fair, like, I'm not blaming FDA. I've said many times, you know, the judge gave them a deadline, and I've said this before. Even if FDA is saying, you know what, we're going to be cool, you guys are trying to do the right thing, we're not going to enforce on you, and because we're going through this process, it's ultimately not their decision, because the judge already put down that decision, and the people that signed on to that lawsuit are not going to sit by and allow FDA to allow vapor to stay on the market.
Nope.
They have a legal decision. They have a judge's rendered decision. And I don't believe, I mean, it's not an appeal. It's not like, you know, they don't have to appeal to the court and say, we want to take this to a higher court. They already have a decision, and we've already appealed, and it's not going to, they said no. And, you know, FDA has gone and asked for an extension, and the judge said no. So even if FDA says that they're going to be cool about this, I really don't think that the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, that those 13 or 14 body part organizations that sued FDA is going to stand by and let it happen. They're going to appeal to the court. They're going to petition the court, and they're going to say, damn it, you told them this date. And the judge is going to say, I have to stand by that date. I don't think, in Char's in the room, and I know that she's working with FDA, but I don't think that, I think that, and you know, they have enforcement discretion. But I don't think that the judge or the 13 body part organizations that sued FDA and got that decision are going to stand by and allow that to stand. I really don't. Even if FDA is like trying to be cool, you know, I don't think it's FDA's fault. I'm not one of those people that says fuck the FDA. I've never said that. They're doing a job. It's an unachievable job in the amount of infrastructure that they have and the number of people that they have. It is not doable. And when that lawsuit first happened, they should have looked at it from outside and said, you know, because when the judge said, ultimately, yes, you have to change that deadline and bring it back forward. I don't think that they should have. I think they should have asked for more time, because they picked the deadline. That the judge gave them the date that they asked for. So yeah, I don't think that the assholes that sued the FDA, those groups, are going to stand by and allow any discretion. And they're gonna go to the courts, and the judge has already said this is the deadline. And when FDA went for an extension, he said no, this is the deadline. I don't think that I really feel like the court is going to say you have to enforce. That's where I feel. I don't want to be the fearmonger. I just want everybody to be realistic.
They're going to be up their ass.
It is not FDA. I don't ultimately think that it's FDA's choice. I think that the people, the senators that are Chris Murthy, all those people that are writing letters to the FDA on a weekly basis, it seems, is going to stand by and let them squeak by. I just don't believe that. I could be wrong. I will. And if I am wrong, you know, give the deadline happens on a certain day in September. I believe within 2 weeks of that deadline, if the FDA doesn't do like Nazi Gestapo bullshit, that those people are going to petition the courts and get a summary decision, and the judge is going to have to file a what do they call that,
injunction.
An injunction. That's the word. An injunction against the FDA, telling them you have to enforce now. That's what I mean. If I had a crystal ball, I just have a feeling that the judge, if you've read the papers from the judge, like, he was very uncomplimentary of the vaping industry in his. He already had an opinion in his head, which, you know, is not cool. But like, his decision, the wording that he used is very bad. I think that the paperwork that the judge said, the judge did not include the words enforcement discretion in his decision. The words enforcement discretion are in the actual Tobacco Control Act. I feel like the judge is going to smack them, is what I feel horrible. And I don't want to be the negative guy, but I feel like these groups have it out for us, and they have that fucking decision in their hand. And I just think that they're going to hammer us, is what I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
and somebody's got to be the bad guy, Patrick. You know.
Well, no, the judge is the bad guy, and the Truth Foundation and the Tobacco Free Kids, those are the bad guys. I just feel
the messenger. The messenger.
They've got a bone, and they're gonna fucking chew on it.
Yeah,
is what I think. And like I said, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I don't believe that. I believe that they have the legal decision, and they're going to enforce that. So, anywho, I don't know why we went off on that tangent. Hey, did you see this? I think you saw this. I think you sent it to me.
What?
Well, give me a minute. I've got to hit the button and do the share screen thing. Here, look at this. Look at this right here. So this is from New Zealand. But actually, no, it's Australia.
Fucking what? Okay, whoever did this, right? I give them five points for effort.
This is in a New Zealand media piece.
Yeah.
But it says drone spotted delivering cigarettes to woman in the Gold Coast hotel quarantine. So she was jonesing. She wanted a cigarette. So somebody delivered cigarettes to her using a drone.
Oh, I've seriously?
Yeah, there was video. There was video, but I'm currently geo-blocked on this one. But it says here
that doesn't surprise me.
A woman in hotel quarantine on Australia's Gold Coast has been caught breaching her isolation conditions after a pack of cigarettes were delivered to her by a flying drone. So how do you break? How is that? How is that breaking quarantine though?
Because there
was no human to human contact.
Yeah, okay, but whatever's coming through into the hotel, into the quarantine, has to go through the fucking Leanna drone for Tic Tacs. Come on, enough. Fucking.
So it says Nine News reported a man is believed to be the one flying the drone from outside of the Crown Plaza at Broad Beach on July 11th. A hotel staff member noticed the exchange after the drone flew to the woman's balcony. She contacted police who interviewed the woman, and the woman was fined 1,300 Australian dollars. So was that like $12 US?
No, yeah, something like that.
The drone operator may also face penalties.
Buck and change. Yeah. But
I mean,
yeah, all right. Point taken. But
I mean, come on, guys.
A pack of cigarettes. Could you also send me a pack of Tic Tacs?
Tom says that only in Queensland.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's about $3.50.
Tree Viddy.
So somebody's got to walk outside, look up, and see a drone going to a room, and then calling somebody. What in the fuck is wrong with you people?
Look, I've got no idea, but whoever thought of it, good luck to them. It's probably $150 a packet via the drone service. Don't worry. At least it's not X delivery, or that you'd never get your stuff through them. So don't worry.
It's so sad. It's just so sad.
Sad.
And that
Little
sounds
fucking-
satisfying. That's
Little Tic
satisfying.
Tac drone running around. I'm just sad.
Welcome to Mario, Super Mario
Now,
Brothers.
That does make me think of something. Somebody actually had to be standing there and see the plane, the drone or whatever. So and then decide to rat them out.
That's what I just said. Somebody's looking there, watch it do it, and then they call somebody. What in the fuck is wrong with you?
When they identify what is occurring, and they still feel like they have to be assholes,
Karen,
and ruin somebody's fun, and that made me think of something. So this week, I created a new T-shirt design for the store.
Ooh, look at you.
That I call the Scallywag Tee.
Yeah.
And the Scallywag Tee has the new skull and crossbones that I did, and then on the back it has phrases or quotes from one of my favorite satirists, H.L. Mencken. So the top quote says, "The most dangerous man to any government is the man who is able to think things out without regard to the prevailing superstitions and taboos. Most inevitably, he comes to the conclusion that the government he lives under is dishonest, insane, and intolerable." And then I say, hoist the flag. And then I say, this is what made me think of this. So it says here, Puritanism, the haunting fear that someone somewhere may be happy. So that's what that Karen standing in the parking lot was thinking. That person is trying to make themselves happy by getting cigarettes. And then I said, hoist the flag. And then the last quote is, every normal man must be tempted at times to spit on his hands, hoist the black flag, and begin slitting throats. Again, H.L. Mencken, hoist the damn flag. So this is the new Scallywag T-shirt, because we are flying the flag here.
Yep.
So yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. Anyway. Anywho, I'm because we still haven't got enough money. We've sold some shirts, but we haven't got enough money to buy Kevin a second monitor. And now that we're also trying to make enough money to get Charles a microphone. So
Will wants one with a pair of cross Mac mods. He needs a secondary version of it. That wouldn't.
Do you want me to go back to the drawing board? Back?
Well, yeah, but hey, talk to Will. Will want something. I don't know. Ask him. Ask him.
I see it. I don't.
Maybe a special edition Tic Tac one.
The antiquated Scallywag shirt.
Nothing like a Tic Tac.
Antiquated Scallywag shirt. Yes, Kevin needs a second monitor because I'm tired of him having difficulty sharing screen and seeing what the hell he's doing at the same time. Just saying.
What? But wait, when did I get here?
But wait, there's more.
I don't know.
Speaking of Scallywags, yes, Charles needs a microphone. Charles needs a microphone.
Yep.
If you missed the video earlier. Charles is doing a podcast and he needs better sound. So, y'all remember a TV or a movie, not a TV show, a movie called Escape from New York?
Yeah.
Kurt Russell.
Where they've basically turned New York City into a prison.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, everybody's stuck in there. So this is not about New York, but it just made me think of that. So the new name of the movie will be Escape from Brookline, Massachusetts. Because apparently the governing people in Brookline, Massachusetts believe that it's okay to pass a law that basically says that anybody born in the 21st century.
Yeah.
So if you were born after the year 2000, 2000 and on. No, 2000 is part of the 21st century. So if you were born after 1999, it is forever illegal for you to buy cigarettes. Forever. There's no it's not tobacco 21. This is if you were born after 1999, which means that you're 22 right now. Because, you know, 1999. But if you were born in the year 2000, you're 21 now. You are not allowed to make choices for yourself, apparently.
Even when you turn 40 or 50 or 60
or 100.
Or 70. What is the age of majority and why is it in place, Patrick?
Well, the age of majority is when the government of each state, because the age of majority is different in each state, has decided that it's okay for you to make choices for yourself.
Okay.
So the age of consent. Now, there's two different. There's the age of consent, and then there's the age of majority.
Right. In Alabama, it's 12, and in other places, it's 16.
Yeah. And if it's your cousin, it's a completely different thing.
Right. You got to get a special pass, right? Yeah. So if there's an age of majority bylaw, rule, whatever it may be, but this mayor specifically, I believe it was, I might be confusing myself with the DC one. One of them said a couple of years ago that they wanted 16-year-olds to vote. So I don't care what party you're with or you're not with. I could give a shit less. It doesn't matter to me in this instance. If you want a 16-year-old to vote, but you don't want to give them the right to choose to smoke, vape, drink, whatever, then fuck off.
So it's the same people, Kevin. The same people that are arguing that you know, people can't smoke until they're 21, that they're not adults,
right?
Are the same people, the people that are saying that the human brain is not fully formed until you're 25. Right. Those are the same people that are arguing that 16-year-olds should be able to vote. Right. The same people.
Exactly.
Yes, that shirt is available in 3XL, Bruni. There's multiple versions of the shirt.
And I don't understand.
The Scallywag shirt is available in 3 different types of shirt.
How can this actually be legal by a state basis, or are they just, or the heads of the state just coming in and just doing whatever the hell they want?
They don't have a preemptive clause. Like, you know, we've argued in, you know, states that, you know, and we've got it happen. We've had preemption laws passed on the state level that prevent local governments from interfering with state tobacco law. But this is Massachusetts. So Massachusetts may not have a preemption in place. So therefore the localities can actually make the laws more restrictive. So that's the thing is you know, if the state says it's tobacco 21, but you live in a city in that state and you say, no, we want it to be 18. State always trumps local as long as it's more restrictive, but you can't go less restrictive.
Right. Yeah. And the FDA can't ban anything.
According to the FDA in what was that, Kevin? 2014, 2016?
Do you already have it?
I'm opening it now.
There, I was going to share that because of the graphic below those.
So there's multiple graphics here, Kevin. This is from 2016. So you say, my son extracted some old graphics off an old hard drive. I couldn't. So apparently he's smarter than you.
He is.
Circa 2016. FDA tobacco can't ban any tobacco product by law.
That's what they said.
The Mayo Cancer Center corrects itself properly with hashtag nicotine ingredients in Nicorette, and then you tag Alice and
that's my girl,
Agent Anya. So it says here, this is FDA tobacco. This is the actual tweet from FDA tobacco. It says, by law, FDA cannot ban any tobacco product. And then they say there is not yet sufficient evidence that e-cigarettes are less harmful than cigarettes.
Right.
So there's that. So then down here, there's more graphics that show what is in a 2 milligram square of, I'm assuming this is a patch.
I think it was gum, but I don't recall.
Okay, gum. So all of these different things, I'm not even going to try to pronounce these. These are non-medical ingredients.
Yeah.
So this is the flavoring of mint and the ice mint and the fresh fruit and the cinnamon and extreme chill.
Where do you see nicotine? Have you found it yet?
No, because these are just. I'm thinking that these are just the flavoring additives. These are the non-medical ingredients. So
Mallory, metals,
yeah. Titanium dioxide. we all know how bad that is.
Magnesium, black iron. Come on.
Wax and
So this
sweetened with xylitol, even better. Sodium.
So you're playing with those now. Go down one more. I think it's one more. No, well, that you can do that too. Yeah.
There's not one more after this, under that one. So the next one is this one.
The next one, I think, is the FDA Tobacco Control Act underneath that tweet. The next tweet itself, if I remember. I don't know. Maybe not. I had it on. I thought I had it under there.
No, that you had. The next thing is a Mayo Clinic.
Yep.
Nicotine use remains a serious health issue. And then they corrected themselves by saying tobacco use remains a serious health issue.
Okay, so go back to your tweet. So hit back on your top.
Did I tweet? Oh, I guess I did. I did tweet
top
that.
left.
Oh, wait a minute.
Now you can go down to the next tweet. Which nope.
Oh, I got to open this actual tweet, huh? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Oh, look.
Now you asked the question, and you could. You don't have to, but your question was for the audience.
No, I said, wait a minute.
Hang on a minute.
If FDA said in 2016 that they couldn't ban any tobacco by law, what happened that they can suddenly be considering banning menthol cigarettes? Am I missing something? And then I tagged you, Kevin. A menthol ban disproportionately targets Black, brown, and LGBTQ.
Yes, it does.
Communities.
Yes, it does.
And then you went over here and you tagged me with text from the Tobacco Control Act, the Family Smoking Prevention and Tobacco Control and Federal Retirement Reform Act.
At the time.
So you've underlined the identity, public disclosure, and amount of ingredients used in such products.
Which I still can't find.
To provide new and flexible, see, there's that enforcement discretion, flexible enforcement authority to ensure that there is effective oversight of the tobacco industry's efforts to develop, introduce, and promote less harmful tobacco products.
They're not doing that.
Nope.
Read number 5 for me, because there's a point in there. We'll just move right on.
Okay. To vest the FDA with the authority to regulate the levels of tar, nicotine, and other harmful components of tobacco products.
So far, they're going to reduce. Their goal is $100 billion, million, trillion, gazillion dollars to reduce nicotine only, but not levels of tar or other harmful components of tobacco products. And I asked the company doing it, and they concluded, nope, just nicotine. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in order to ensure that consumers are better informed and then you've underlined health and dependency effects or safety. Do I need to read the whole number or just the underlined words, Kevin?
Oh, hell, just the underlined words is good enough for anybody listening.
Okay. And then number 7, you've underlined to ensure that they are not sold or accessible to underage purchasers, which they are failing miserably at.
That's their job. That is the description, job description in their fucking control act that they do not do. So I don't care if a 6-year-old's vaping. It's their fault, their problem. They need to fix it.
Do your job.
Sign her
and 9, you've put promote cessation to reduce disease risk.
Period.
So then you have another thing here.
Yeah, so you can go straight down to 3A if you like, but you can do what you like.
3A, no restriction under paragraph 1 may 1 prohibit the sale of any tobacco product in face-to-face transactions by a specific category of retail outlets. So what they're saying is no penalty, no restrictions under paragraph 1, which is not included on this thing.
Right.
Prohibit the sale of any tobacco product in face-to-face transactions by a specific category of retail outlet. So what they're saying is they can't restrict the sale of any tobacco product in a face-to-face sale, regardless of the category of retail outlet.
Right.
So in a C-store, grocery store, pharmacy, or whatever, vape shop, this is specifically saying they cannot stop the sale of tobacco products in these locations. And according to FDA, vaping products are what?
Tobacco product.
Okay, just double checking.
Cocksucker.
Double checking.
So for those of you who don't know, in my spare time.
Kevin, you responded here by saying, of course, that doesn't stop insanity from local yokels.
Correct. Chuckleheads.
And then I replied. And
there's more.
And again, you put your tweet that said under the Tobacco Control Act, the FDA cannot ban any tobacco product, just regulate them. And then the next tweet this is from July 31st of 2017. And then this is another tweet by FDA Tobacco on July 31st. Legally, the FDA cannot ban any tobacco product, only regulate them as outlined by Congress in the Tobacco Control Act.
So what is it they're doing again with menthol, Patrick, that you asked?
Well, again, Kevin, my tweet responded, I said, but this is not local yokels. Right. This is FDA, and they're contradicting themselves because right here in my photograph that I posted, it says FDA commits to evidence-based actions aimed at saving lives and preventing future generations of smokers. And then under that, it says efforts to ban, that's their word, menthol cigarettes, ban flavored cigars. Ban flavored cigars, build on previous flavor ban, and mark significant steps to reduce addiction, blah, blah, blah. And then even down here, it says the FDA is working toward issuing proposed product standards within the next year to ban menthol as a characterizing flavor.
Characterizing flavor. So when you go back up, it says reduce addiction and youth experimentation. Well, it just said that they're supposed to stop youth experimentation in the Tobacco Control Act.
Yes.
So they just ignore that part, like the WHO ignores whatever section it is that says harm reduction. I forget.
Yeah. So then I like to throw this up here on the screen. This is a tweet. I stole this from Larry Sharp, which you retweeted. And it's a picture of Homer Simpson, and it says, wow, the fortune cookies here really are more accurate. And the fortune cookie says, there is no law that the government will not kill you to enforce.
I'm glad you brought that in. Yeah.
There is no law the government will not kill you to enforce. Now, I believe if you scroll through my Twitter feed, just a week or so, I tweeted a couple pointers to policymakers that they should probably think about before they agree or vote yes on any bill or law. And I really think that people need to know what this is. And I actually sent this to Raja. I tweeted to Raja on this. And I think this very much goes right with what we just said. So Larry Sharp and the person that thought of this is, so one, a question all lawmakers should ask themselves before even writing a bill is, how is this going to be enforced and by whom? Willy-nilly lawmaking has borne stupid and dangerous laws. Will cops tase, tackle, and hogtie people for victimless crimes? And then obviously two, will this birth a dangerous black market? Is there already a law making this illegal? Will this new law disproportionately affect certain socioeconomic groups? Will this law do more harm than good? Okay, several questions. Three, if the answer to any of these are yes, then the bill needs to die. This is unless you think having cops seeking out sellers of illegal vaping technology won't end in another Eric Garner situation. Adults who want to quit smoking will seek out a way to quit. 4, if that means acquiring a vape, they will do it. The fear of an early death, gasping for air, will drive them to find a way to avert it. When nothing else works, a new I can't breathe. Vaping is far less dangerous than smoking. U.S. FDA and CDC and many others have actually conceded that fact. There's no hiding it. They've all admitted. The head of the FDA Center for Tobacco has been in front of Congress and said that if every person that is currently smoking were to substitute every cigarette for vaping, it would be a net benefit for public health. So they've admitted it. And I said 5, vaping is also easier to control and quit if the user decides to do so. Why penalize adult smokers for wanting a choice in how they quit smoking when you already have multiple laws that are already poorly enforced to keep kids away from smoking or vaping? So back to the beginning of this, they have to ask themselves, who is going to enforce this law and how will it be enforced? Mm-hmm. Every law that you pass, you should consider, are the people enforcing this law going to do so at gunpoint?
Of course they are.
Or, like I said, are they gonna tase a kid on the fucking boardwalk and tackle him to the ground and knee him in the rib cage repeatedly and then hogtie him and carry him off?
War on drugs, period. I'm 53. I remember the news clips in the I know. Ed's older than me, but I remember the news clips and the busts and the stupidity up into the 80s, into the 90s, the crack epidemic, all that other shit. It's all the same stuff. It's all the same shit. It's just a different name. Now it's nicotine. It's not even tobacco. It's nicotine. It's idiotic. And I'm going to say out loud what I put in the chat. The actions of your underage kids obtaining products illegally cannot justify any restrictions, taxes, or bans on adult rights. Choices. Period. Fuck off.
Well, Kevin, come on. We live in a country that we have founding documents. We have this thing called the Bill of Rights.
Fuck.
The Bill of Rights. The second thing on there is about guns and ownership of guns. And it says, shall not be infringed.
Shall not. Correct.
Now, there are over 100 laws on a federal level right now. There are over 100 laws that infringe on that right. And then if you start throwing in all of these state and local laws or ordinances about guns, there's over 20,000 in the United States. But the Second Amendment says your right to own a firearm shall not be infringed. So we are already, we've got laws that already go against the Constitution, right?
Yep.
I don't want to make this into a crazy gun show, but we've already accepted the diminution of our rights.
And now the mayor of Washington and the other idiot mayor or whatever they are, and the boards are taking away rights in Hawaii. They want a different thing every year. They go 5 years, 10 years.
I think the smoking, their ultimate goal is to have the smoking age at 100.
Yeah, for Hawaii, yeah. But you have a generation of people not paying attention to these lawmakers taking away any right. They don't care.
And
then they want them to vote, and then they're going to go, well, wait a minute, but you took my... Yeah, it's too late. We already did that. You can appeal it if you like.
You didn't complain when we did it, so...
You didn't say a fucking word. Nobody said a word. What?
I don't... Pippa
What's
is like
wrong with you
spitting down there. She's saying that, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Oh, my God.
So I'm scrolling here, Paul. Where did it go? I missed it. Where did it go? We already did that. Where is this? There it is. Medium has a piece that they published, and apparently I only have access to 2 free articles this month on this website, and this is called because we're not paying for it.
No.
It's not doing it. No. This is called the New Prohibitionists. And up here it says the Great Vaping Debate. So it says here, I have 2 free member only stories left this month. The New Prohibitionists, advocacy groups, and their political allies want to ban flavored e-cigarettes. There are better options. And then there's a photograph of Prohibition era.
Yep.
I don't know, New York or no, Dayton, the Greater Dayton Association. So
no way.
That's
I love that.
In the window,
The brewers
Greater
have the
Dayton.
money. We have the facts. Come and see.
Yeah.
My hometown. Look at that.
Don't be misled. The liquor traffic is financial waste, social suicide, something folly, physical inefficiency, and home destruction. Damn. They're really hurting my feelings, and the booze is my thing. It's my other thing. So in the epilogue to Last Call: The Rise and Fall of Prohibition, Daniel Ochran's lively and deeply researched history of prohibition, he writes, in almost every respect imaginable, prohibition was a failure. It encouraged criminality and institutionalized hypocrisy. It deprived the government of revenue, stripped the gears of the political system, and imposed profound limitations on individual rights. It fostered a culture of bribery, blackmail, and official corruption. But Mitt Zeller said in front of Congress that there would not be a vaping black market.
I was promised that by Chapman. I've been promised it by Zeller and many, many other experts.
So we have a perfect example of when the government says you can't have something, what people will do. And
what's that history failing to repeat itself? What?
Relying on a black market, and a very thriving black market. So much the same could be said about the 50-year-old war on drugs, which has been prosecuted with enthusiasm by every president since Nixon. No matter what the drug war was rooted in, racism and xenophobia, and sustained by lies, it took a heavy toll on African Americans and poor people, and helped make the U.S. the world leader in incarceration. Hey, we're winning, man. We're winning. It fostered violent drug cartels while keeping psychedelic chemicals with the potential to heal away from those who might have benefited from their use. And we talked about that last week with Dr. Charles Gardner. Why then do people want to ban e-cigarettes or flavored e-cigarettes? Have anti-tobacco warriors like the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, the Truth Initiative, and their political allies forgotten history? This is not to suggest that bans on e-cigarettes or menthol cigarettes would have the impact of prohibition or the drug war, but it is a near certainty that bans on substances that people desire, especially addictive substances, will generate negative and unintended consequences. In the case of vaping, the most important negative consequence will likely be an increase in smoking, which remains the world's leading preventable cause of death. The vast majority of tobacco researchers agree that vaping, while not safe, is safer than smoking combustible tobacco. Yes, that is true. Even FDA tobacco and CDC have agreed to that. I've never seen WHO make that admission. This is why partial or total vaping bans, which have been enacted by 5 states and numerous cities, make little sense, especially as evidence accumulates that e-cigarettes help adults quit smoking. Meantime, recent development suggests that a combination of regulation and persuasion can limit youth access to vapes. This story will look at research that points to a path forward for e-cigarettes that, at least in theory, could satisfy all but the most uncompromising voices on both sides of the great vape debate. So this is a cool piece. I'm going to copy this and slam it into the chat because I missed the link for this on the show notes. So there it is. Go read it, or at least the rest of it, because I'm not going to sit here and read the whole thing because it's pretty long.
You just gave us an example that someone will actually call somebody and have a pack of cigarettes droned up to their hotel room.
Exactly.
So they will go to any length to get whatever it is. Just fill in your drug of choice any way to get it. Any way you can. Doesn't matter.
Any way you want it, that's the way you
want it.
So, I'm an awful singer. I've never said I was a
I won't disagree.
I've never said that.
I was a choir boy, so there you go.
So we designed a T-shirt that says nicotine enhanced, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's on the store. We've had Dr. Charles Gardner on the show, talking about people that are neurodiverse. We've shown a lot of information over the last months about neurodiversity and nicotine. So Kevin found a really nice study published in the Oxford Academic Journal.
I'm sure I stole it from someone else.
Section of nicotine and tobacco and research.
Probably Juca.
I don't know, but Ricardo Pelosa's name's on it, so it's going to be good. So it says here, a single-arm, open-label pilot and feasibility study of a high nicotine strength e-cigarette intervention for smoking cessation or reduction for people with schizophrenia spectrum disorders who smoke cigarettes. Yep. So this is specifically they're designing. This is a pilot and feasibility study. So they're designing the experiment that they're going to ultimately conduct, focusing on people within the schizophrenia spectrum to see if, because a huge percentage of those people smoke. Can they devise a smoking cessation program for people that have those disorders to get them to quit smoking? That's essentially what this is about, right, Kevin? Kevin?
Yep. What did I do?
You did.
Did I mute?
So, yes. Well, now I can hear you. So it says an estimated 60 to 90% of, like I just said, of people with schizophrenia smoke, compared to 15 to 24% of the general population.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that alone, that disparity alone,
yes,
should pique your interest. Should make you think, okay, so yeah, there's
something's going on.
There is concrete proof that people that have mental issues or neurodiversity are self-medicating in some way with nicotine, because such a high percentage of those people smoke. But 60 to 90%. That's a huge jump between 60 and 90, right? So it says here in the general, exacerbating the already high morbidity and mortality rates observed in this population. People with schizophrenia and other disorders tend to suicide.
Yeah.
And also a lot of the meds that they're taking for their problems also have really bad side effects. So this study aimed to assess the feasibility of using a new generation high-strength nicotine e-cigarette to modify smoking behavior in individuals with schizophrenia spectrum disorders who smoke cigarettes. A single-arm pilot study was conducted with 40 adults with schizophrenia spectrum disorders who smoked and did not intend to reduce or quit smoking. Participants were given 12-week supply of Juul e-cigarettes loaded with 50 milligram or 5% nicotine pods. The primary outcome was smoking cessation at 12 weeks. Additional outcomes include smoking reduction, continuous abstinence at week 24, adoption rate, and adherence to e-cigarette feasibility and acceptability, and subjective effects. So the results were 40% of the participants quit smoking completely by 12 weeks. For the whole sample, we observed an overall sustained 50% reduction in smoking or smoking abstinence in 37 out of 40 people. That's 92.5% of participants in an overall 75% reduction in median cigarette. So 92% of the people in this survey reduced their smoking by 75%.
So tell me where dual use is bad. These were people that did not intend to quit smoking.
That's what it says right there.
These were people that have, what is it, biodiversity?
Yeah.
I got so many $10 alert words, I can't remember which ones were which now. So when you have a problem, a mental problem, I don't want to be politically correct because I can't do it. If you have a mental issue and you smoke,
how is that not? How is that bad?
Well, I don't know the politically correct terms. So
crazy is
okay. So if you're insane, or if you have schizophrenia, or you're bipolar, or my son is I forget what he's diagnosed with. He's
Asperger's.
Probably
your son. I think your son is Asperger's.
Probably.
So you should know that.
What they know, it's schizoaffective.
Schizoaffective.
So when I have a meme that shows what they do in psychiatric hospitals, they say, no, you little fuckers, you cannot smoke. You cannot smoke. Here's a patch. Here's some gum. Here's an inhaler. But they don't let them smoke. But they fucking know that it's a 7% success rate. So they're contributing to the problem. They're not helping these fucking people, and it pisses me the fuck off.
And these are, I mean, we've talked about like smoking cessation with the patch,
right?
Using a higher strength patch is vastly superior to the normal patch that you see in America on the shelves. Like we know that higher strength nicotine patches work way better than the Nicotrol or Nicoderm patches that you can see on the store shelves.
Higher nicotine is safe. It actually said it.
And the conclusion of this study is a high strength nicotine e-cigarette, like the Juul, has the potential to help people with schizophrenia spectrum disorders to quit or reduce smoking. Further research with a larger sample and a comparator group is needed. That's one of those randomized clinical trials. The results provide useful information and direction to augment the existing body of knowledge. So that's why I said this was a pilot study.
Yep. It's important. This is huge.
This is just them designing the actual real study. So this is something we need to keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
And this is really the focus of what we've been talking about on this show for months. So, this is important.
It's extreme to me.
So it's good that you actually found something to, contribute to the group here.
For a change.
Well, the numbers and the reductions are huge.
Yeah.
For people that did not plan to quit smoking. Didn't want to quit smoking.
I mean, this is crazy. So, the Cancer Epidemiology and Biomarkers and Prevention Journal put out a thing this week, and this is results from wave 1 of the PATH study, right? So, blah, blah, blah. Let's throw this on the screen. This is more science speak, more stuff that Kevin provided for the show. So it probably will be boring. So biomarkers of inflammation and oxidative stress among adult former smokers, current e-cigarette users, and these are results from Wave 1 of the PATH study. And there's a whole bunch of people here that, hey, I know this name. I can't even say it, but Gonowitz.
Mm-hmm.
I know that name.
Just go straight down to the bottom. You're fine.
So that is the bottom. This is paywalled. Why do you give me shit that's paywalled, asshole?
That's why it was at the bottom.
Oops.
Yep. Did you read it
already? Well, I can't read it because
the bottom exclusive.
So here we go. Conclusions right here.
Conclusion. Yeah.
All right. The conclusion says dual users have greater concentration of F2 isopropystane. That sounds dirty, actually. Than smokers have. So people that are dual users have a greater concentration of these F2s than smokers. Exclusive e-cigarette users have biomarker concentrations that are similar to those of former smokers who do not currently use tobacco.
So non-smokers.
And lower than those of exclusive cigarette smokers. So what they're saying is these biomarkers of inflammation and oxidative stress in dual users is actually higher than smokers. But in people that exclusively vape, those biomarkers are similar to people that used to smoke that no longer smoke.
Non-smokers.
So I don't know why they didn't put, like, why did they draw that line?
Right.
Why didn't they specifically say non-smokers?
Right.
So if you were a smoker in the past, are those levels higher than somebody that never smoked?
Maybe for a short time. Charles has told us within 5 years, 10 years, No,
10 years. 10 years is what he said.
So
I would like to know if there was a distinction. Why did they choose that specific verbiage?
Right.
Because
there is another study. Right. There is another study that says something similar, that we have the same levels as non-smokers, and I can't find that at the moment because my computer's fucking up, but it's similar verbiage, very, very similar.
Biomarkers.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, this week, you remember the A to Z of harm reduction thing that I did?
I do.
So I did that like in March, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I did that in March, and Charles tweeted something this week, and I actually replied to him with a quote tweet of the A to Z of harm reduction. Like I repurposed my original tweet.
Good job.
Because it's content that I already had.
Yeah.
So
I encourage that for everybody.
Yes, it's easier. Oh, did you know there was another thing that you tweeted that I will make a quick aside. Because I can do so because I am the host of the show and I have control. So you found a meme. You found a meme that says chocolate comes from cocoa, which is a tree. That makes it a plant. So chocolate is a salad.
That's right.
But you're falling into the hole on that, Kevin, because we talk about vaping isn't a tobacco product.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. Believe me.
So
I'm ultra aware.
I see the absurdist nature of your tweet. I see your absurdity. So you say hashtag chocolate is life. Hashtag chocolate is now a salad. Chocolate is a meal in itself, and then you tag Chris.
Listen, I'm
Big knowledge Garland.
I'm just giving Chris some love because of his enjoying ourselves on the show with him that night.
Because so I said
that was
good.
So I said now at least I know where chocolate should be on the food pyramid. And then I tagged Chris as well. And then Chris said, I've been saying this for 40 years. And then the grumpy old broad said, yes, exclamation point. And
you know
then
what
Marcelo,
chocolate has in it? Guess what chocolate has in it?
It has MAOIs in it.
Well, nicotine and all kinds of.
Well, it
fun
has that
stuff.
too as well. But yeah, it does have. It has that in it as well. So I was scrolling looking for my tweet, and I obviously saw that, so I had to.
If you guys did not see the show with Chris, you got to go back and look for it.
So
it was fun.
This week there was a lot of phallic talk as well. Obviously,
What?
with the Jeff Bezos rocket.
Was Simon on it, or
that was crazily phallic shaped? It did have a.
It was Tic Tac like.
It had a distinct mushroom head. But Charles, actually, the tweet that I wanted to point out, that's got a mushroom head as well.
Skip said cranky, Patrick, not grumpy.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Anywho.
Tic Tac like.
Anywho.
Yeah, phallic.
So Charles says a tale of two phallic consumer products, condoms, 95% effective in preventing pregnancy and STDs. Public health embraces and promotes. E-cigarettes, 95% safer than smoking and 20 to 50% effective at helping smokers quit. Public health rejects.
Penis.
So then he has a picture of condoms and sunscreen and harm reduction and seatbelts and methadone and helmets and e-cigarettes. And then I said, hey, I made a list of harm reduction innovations and products that most people embrace and save countless lives. And this is from February of this year. And then the A to Z of harm reduction. Well, you know, when I brought that tweet back, Kevin, I got a lot of retweets. Like it got legs again.
Good.
And what was really funny was I got a notification that somebody followed me, and
I don't believe you.
I was like, oh, look at this! I've made it, Kevin. I'm now big stuff because Feel M Tech, which is the parent company of S'more, is now following me.
S'more chocolate? What is that? What? No,
not s'mores.
I got a phallic.
So apparently they make parts for the Enjoy, for the Relics, for the Hexa, for the Vapo, lots of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're now following me. I'm like a big deal.
D. Snyder liked one of my tweets today.
I saw that.
So
I saw that the PMRC freedom loving metalhead
First Amendment goat.
Really retweet. He actually liked one of your tweets. I was like, oh, I'm jealous now.
That's actually two. I didn't want to.
Yeah, that is two. That is two. I remember you bragged the first time too.
And the drummer from Uriah Heep follows me too. So there you go.
Well, but Rockford Files, James Garner liked one of my tweets.
I know.
And that's one of my favorite shows.
And John Stossel said why to me. There was no other interaction though. So yeah.
Wow.
Did you see my penis? I'm trying to share my penis and you won't let me.
Oh, I'll do it. There.
For those of you who don't know, you're holding a penis.
I don't want Facebook to block me. We can't get kicked off of Facebook.
I believe, and I'm not positive, I believe this was a David Dorn meme from the 70s, I think, actually. So personal electronic nicotine inhalation system. And Ed's probably old enough to remember when David did this. So just so you know, just so you're aware, since we're talking about weenies and Tic Tacs.
Well, we said phallic, and then Tic Tac is just, Tic Tac.
Sorry, Janine. Janine said, I walk away for 3 seconds.
Well, did Janine earlier, it's already fallen off the chat. She says that she hardly ever sees my tweets.
Well,
I think the algorithm is working against me, Kevin.
Go to your page, share your page, and show everyone where you can get notifications. The top little bell, there's a little bell on the top of everybody's.
Well, I can't show that on my page. I have to show that on somebody else's page.
Well, go to Paul's page. I don't care.
I don't want to get alerts every time Paul tweets something. How about Joe Gitchell? I'll go to Joe Gitchell.
Right, let's go to Joe.
Okay, so I have to hit follow.
You don't follow Joe?
No, I unfollowed him for the purposes of this.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then I hit notify.
That's right. And it works about half the time on Twitter, but it does work on occasion.
So that's how you get notifications.
Allegedly.
Sometimes.
Allegedly.
So there is that. Let's see. What else did you provide me to show on screen?
I don't know.
Oh, you sent me a tweet saying you would hit this. So.
Oh, yeah. I know what that is.
I would hit that, is what you said.
Yeah. Discuss, hit, provide.
So this is a tweet from the THR blog.
Are you following them? Just hover over them.
No.
Look at you. See, I don't even know who this is. I have no idea who it is. What the fuck are you doing?
I wasn't moving.
Paul, did you throw a Tic Tac at Patrick?
Shit on the other side of the room just fell.
FBA's involved. So the THR blog.
There's a ghost. There's a ghost in the house.
You dropped your Tic Tac. So when you quit hovering on that and click on the thing, you might be able to make it bigger without having to rub it.
It's bigger.
No, I mean the graphic.
Oh, this. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. So addiction defined as anybody in the room, please tell me if you suffer from one of these descriptions. Addiction, like nicotine and all, is defined as chronic relapsing disorder characterized by compulsive drug-seeking use despite adverse consequences. That's NIDA, National Institute on Drug Abuse. The American Psychiatric Association, sounds important to me, says it's a complex condition, a brain disease, because you can treat it when they call it a disease, that's manifested by compulsive substance use despite harmful consequence. People with addiction have an intense focus on a certain substance or substances, alcohol, drugs, to the point it takes over their life. The third one says...
Kevin.
What?
We are wasting a Friday night talking about this. So is this not meet the definition? It has taken over our lives?
That's a good point.
So I'm not addicted. I'm not addicted to vaping. I'm addicted to talking about vaping.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a psychological thing. Merriam-Webster says having harmful physiological, or social effects. Social maybe. And the last one is the Addiction Center. I don't know who they are. The main priority of the addict, regardless of the harm they may cause to themselves or others. And you can do whatever you guys do, but I've not ever seen myself in any of these four definitions when I smoked or since I've vaped.
Well, I mean, when I was a cigarette smoker, we've talked about this, I would skip meals.
True, that's true.
To buy cigarettes.
As did I, yep.
And I might have borrowed money out of my mom's purse to buy cigarettes.
Well, Ed and I just briefly discussed stealing in my instance, stealing old gold butts from my dad's ashtray. So maybe, maybe that's addiction. I don't know.
So Will, are you saying that this is a Tic Tac? I mean, this is an 18350.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's another one.
Yep, he said yep.
Now, this is an 18350 as well, but this is slightly bigger. Just, you know.
Mine's a slide. Did I show it to you?
Slide. So Mallory says she's addicted. Addicted.
Just kidding.
Addicted.
So addiction in your terms or my terms are not exactly what they think as described with nicotine itself.
If you and we referred to Father Jack Kearney in the YouTube video, and one of the specific things between substance dependence and addiction is addicts will hurt themselves and others to get the substance that they need or want, where that definition is very similar, except for the fact that dependency removes the verbiage that talks about the violent behaviors or the damaging behaviors or the
and Carl, because I love to hate him and hate to love him, love to hate and hate to love Carl Phillips, says there is no real definition. Nobody can agree on one. Obviously, we just gave you 4, and those none of those are
the experts. Jerry, the experts.
Yeah, Jerry.
The experts say
twit.
I'm still currently on Twitter right now.
Good.
I'm looking at other tweets.
Look at you.
As the sign our amendment thing keeps popping up into your head, Kevin, Lance Churchill tweeted today. Yes, today. I have to double check the date. That FDA conducted 4,356 tobacco retailer compliance check inspections between the first of the year and the final day of March, the day I had surgery, actually, and found, drumroll please, 22 violations.
22.
43, almost 4,400, 4,300, and they only found 22 violations. That's 0.5% of 1%. 0.005. That's actually not 0.5% of 1%. This is tens, hundreds, thousands. So 5.5 thousandths of a percent.
Not very fucking many. Now you have to give this the dates, January 21 through March 21, because
March
we're in
31.
lockdown. And I'm sorry,
January 1 of 21 to
and March of
essentially 21. April 1st.
So we're not out of real lockdown. Most of the country still kind of in a lockdown situation. So I'll give that, but even giving that, you'd think with a gazillion kids vaping that they'd have got a few more.
No, there's still 3,000 more kids a day.
A day.
3,000 kids a day. That's what the one asshole politician / tobacco control bastard.
Paul, we ran out of children like 7 months ago, but there's still.
I was about to ask. I was just about to ask. Are they now counting like COVID children as part of this new study?
3,000 a day.
Right. Well, they're going to be waiting 9 months for all them to pop out. So, yeah, good luck with the 3,000 a day.
And pregnant teenagers should not vape.
Right.
So just so you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. So BMJ, not BJ, BMJ. Put out or published an article, / study that Kevin shared with me earlier. It says early evidence of the associations between an anti-e-cigarette mass media campaign and e-cigarette knowledge and attitudes. These are results from a cross-sectional study of youth and young adults. So it says here, Elizabeth Hare, Jennifer Chrislake, Jessica Miller-Raff, Lindsay Pitzer, Morgane Bennett, and Donna Vallone. And this is
Yes.
A letter to Dr. Elizabeth C. Hare of the Schroeder Institute, the Truth Initiative, Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And this is her email, ehare@truthinitiative.org. If anybody wanted to email her.
Yeah, reach out.
You got a question?
Hit her up. Yeah. Even if you don't have a question, you should email her. Just saying.
Yep.
So it says here, the objective is anti-smoking mass media campaigns have contributed to significant declines in combustible tobacco use among young people. This study evaluates a national anti-e-cigarette campaign to determine its association with knowledge, attitudes, and beliefs in the context of increasing e-cigarette use in the United States.
I'm confused.
Now it says here a national sample of respondents aged 15 to 24.
What? I'm confused.
Why is that not 21? Why are they messing with actual adult people?
I don't know, Patrick. Please go on.
So a national sample of respondents aged 15 to 24 was drawn from a repeated cross-sectional online panel survey of only 220 people per week, starting in October of 2018 and going to December of 2019. Now, when did the Valley first thing happen? What year was
March.
that? It was
2019.
Yeah.
It was not March. It was August of 2019.
You mean when they figured it out was August?
It was earlier than that because Leafy was doing articles in June, July.
The first Leafy article was August. Yep. I did the search last week or the week before last, August of 2019.
Yeah.
And the first death was August of 2019 as well. It was like 3 days after the Leafy article was published. Go back to the last show, or not the Charles show, the show before Charles. Self-reported exposure to the Truth and the Truth anti-e-cigarette campaign was measured according to level of ad awareness. Outcomes were subjective knowledge of campaign-targeted facts about e-cigarettes and attitudinal constructs about perceived e-cigarette harm, social unacceptability, and anti-industry sentiments. Covariates included respondent demographics, current e-cigarette use and cigarette use, parental smoking, sensation seeking, mental health, and growth in e-cigarette sales. Okay, so the results are here. The conclusion says young people with awareness of anti-cigarette ads demonstrate higher levels of campaign-targeted knowledge, attitudes, and beliefs. Future campaign evaluation priorities include measuring the campaign effects on e-cigarette use behavior. So you're telling me, this is funny. So, young people with awareness of anti-e-cigarette ads demonstrated higher levels of campaign-targeted knowledge, attitudes, and beliefs. So they're saying that people that saw the commercial retained some of that information. That's all this is. I mean, literally, the conclusion is that some people that saw Joseph Maguero's in the chat room. There are they spent.
Hello, Joseph. We'd like to have you on.
He's watching from Kenya. We should have him on. Nice. Young people with awareness of, so they're saying that people that saw the ads were knowledgeable about the ads. They spent millions of dollars.
Yes.
This is common sense stuff. I mean, this is so stupid. They spent money to see if people that watched the ad actually remembered watching the ad.
Yes.
So, yeah, they throw Rick and Morty into a commercial, and the next thing you know, people remember it because they love Rick and Morty.
So part one was that it's 2-year-olds until they're 24. Part two was that they retain knowledge. But what? Well, it's already gone. Skip just said, but their brains don't develop till they're 25. So how can they retain that knowledge? I don't understand. There's an awful lot of contradiction going on in the contradiction world.
It just makes me laugh. You know,
I'm befuddled.
Well, then you could be a professor at University of California, San Francisco.
Can I really?
I mean,
So
you could actually be
sort
Professor
of important.
Glantz. You could be Professor Glantz.
I'd like to highlight that Joseph Magaro is in the chat room from Kenya, and I appreciate him coming in.
Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
And I would love to have Mr.
We've
Magaro.
invited Alan Beard on, and Alan is afraid of us.
No, Alan's afraid of me. I don't think Joseph would be afraid. I'm vaping it on Twitter, Joseph, just in case you want to reference it.
The shenanigans are all on vaping it. Yeah,
but we've had science on the show. We've had Charles on, Dr. Gardner on the show. We've had
smart
huge
people
amount
on
of
the
people,
show.
way smarter, way better looking than us. So
and again, Kevin, I think I should show this again just because.
Yeah.
You know, we even have our own PSA. Crabs should not smoke.
Do not get the crabs.
Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
And a friend of the show, Kristen Noel Marsh, celebrated 12 years this week, by the way, for those of you who do not know.
She's slightly older than 12.
12 years. Well, she's 21 now.
She's a little older than 12. Just saying.
Sweet talk Alan. I think Alan would be a stunning person to have.
I have tweet evidence of when we invited him on, and he's like, I don't know if I could do that or not.
Well, thank you, Hamish.
I don't know if I can do that or not.
Don't get Paul's Tic Tac all riled up, though.
I don't even want to think about Paul's riled up Tic Tac.
Well, you never know. What else did I share? Nothing.
That's it. We've gone through everything that was in the links that you linked to us.
Okay. All right.
There is tweets though. There are tweets. There's this thing that they call Twitter, Kevin, and I'm not sure if you are familiar with that. Let's see if there's any of these that we haven't discussed. We did that one already. Oh, so there's a guy. He's Taiwanese, a vaping advocate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to share screen. Again, my fingers are like, oh, there's the seizure. I don't know why it does that like every other time. There we go. Boom. So Danny Yu Wang, he is he's actually a certified guy. He has completed the course on tobacco control research branch at the National Cancer Institute of the United States in collaboration with Framework Convention to Treaty on Tobacco Control, the Indian Council of Medical Research, and the National Institute of Cancer and Prevention Research. He has completed the course on smokeless tobacco, and he's also a vape dude. He works for Vape Taiwan Media. Yeah. But this week he announced that due to financial hardships, he had to be an Uber driver.
Mm-hmm. I'm following him, and you should.
Yeah, Uber Eats,
mm-hmm.
which I feel is kind of sad. Yep. But, you got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody that is not already following Yu Yang Danny Wang, click the follow button.
Yep.
Yu Yang Danny Wang.
Did you see what Skip said? Maybe someone in the Safer Nicotine Wiki team will do a show.
I don't know. I mean,
part of that team.
We've invited Skip, and she's like chickened out multiple times and said she doesn't want to do it.
She's afraid Paul will come on.
We'll keep Paul. We'll keep Paul away. It's easy.
Paul away.
We'll keep him away.
I love Alan, Skip. Oh, do I love Alan? Almost as much as I like Patrick.
You don't like me at all. So I even made a shirt.
I know.
Telling everybody that you don't like me.
I don't even like you. No.
Oh, do you see that now, Kevin? Do you see that? She says, BS, where's my official invite?
Type it up. Send it off. Call your secretary. Click, click.
That is
chop,
a,
chop.
that is a dirty lie.
Chop, chop.
That is a dirty lie.
Dirty lie.
Dirty lie. We've invited her before. I even have. I could pull up the private chats. I have screenshots.
Paul's like, fucking, I'm out. I don't want to talk about it.
All right, so back to the Juul, the science gatekeeping stuff we talked about 2 weeks ago.
No.
Look in your PMs there, Skip Murray. Scroll up, you'll find it. Don't even try to pretend that bullshit. So Salon published a piece, and I felt like I really needed to address this. So they're complaining again, and multiple media sites are doing this. They're whining that Juul paid to publish their stuff, right? And I got all these damn ad pop-ups, and there's fucking Parkinson's symptoms and yada yada yada. So they're complaining that Juul paid to have their shit published, and that you can't trust. I believe the actual tweet says, what does it say here? Shades of Big Tobacco, how and why Juul bought an entire issue of a scientific journal. So people may not know this, but if you conduct a survey or a study, an experiment, you publish, to get that piece published, it's going to cost somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 in most scientific journals. They actually charge for the proofreading of your documentation. There's a price variable when it comes to whether you have full color graphics or regular graphics. There's a pre-press fee. All this stuff is built in, plus the actual expense of publishing or printing the media, printing the journal. So Juul had multiple pieces that they wanted to publish, so they submitted and paid like every other scientist that wants to get published. Now, they actually did pay about $4,000 more to make it free for the receivers of the journal. And I am not fucking defending Juul. I'm not going to stand here and do that. But everybody that wants to publish has to pay this. And I looked at like 7 different journals that have submission requirements. That's why I put the $3,000 to $4,000 range, because I actually did something that Salon's proofreaders didn't do, and I did a simple Google search.
I have a question. When Chantix put in their science, who did their science? I imagine it was Pfizer / Chantix / whatever.
Yeah.
When the tobacco company does their science and gives it to the FDA, who does their science? The tobacco company.
Yeah. So, and I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that hit this tweet, but there were other people that were discussing the fact that these companies are required to conduct this scientific analysis of their product and have it peer reviewed.
Yeah.
So, Alex, who will be on the show in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the 13th of August will be on the show. Wrote an excellent piece discussing this. And then there's some people that have obviously put some nasty stuff in here. And this isn't even nasty.
Nope.
This was fucking blocked because it was critical. But there's no bad words. Why are you trying to make this out to be some sort of scandal? This journal, the American Journal of HB, and here is their discussion right there. There's a screenshot. These are the different fees that they charge for the publication of every article.
So we could even do one.
There's a $2,000 fee for open access, $3,000 for proofreading and editing, $500 per article. And then down here, there's a grammatical assistance addressed by the right surgeons. That is an editing company. They charge $500 to edit your shit for grammar. And then here is how to submit for a special. What Jewel did, they did a special issue.
Mm-hmm.
So if people are going to only accept the science that nobody pays for, then there won't be any fucking science published.
There's no science, correct.
Because, like I said, I went through and looked at multiple journals, and every one of them had some sort of fee structure.
So I've said this before. Paul, you're in the science side of the world, in my mind at least.
He's in Australia. I don't know that they know what science means down there.
Just for conversation's sake.
Sure.
If I have a company and I publish something and I pay to have it done, and I am the most critiqued industry in the world, being the tobacco company, and I publish it to a journal and it gets published, then everybody can bitch, complain, and moan like they are at the moment with Juul. If I am a expert and I have funding to pay for the same publication of something that I think about Juul, then I release that to the public through a journal and I get the narrative first. Mm-hmm. So in that world, and sorry if I'm losing anybody because I'm having a triple train thought here. If I publish it as an expert with my opinions and it gets published and rebroadcast 300,000 fucking times, then the narrative stays the same for a long, long time, like formaldehyde, like all the other stuff. And if I'm the evil tobacco company, then it's just, yeah, I don't even like you. Then that's exactly what it is. We don't like them, and that's bad science because we didn't get it first. Is that like the main goal, is that the experts want the service of getting the research first because they want to control the narrative, or are they really that stupid that they cannot replicate science?
But the narrative has been this way for such a long time. They'd rather go with the publication or the article that shows the bad side first, and then show the good side and the benefits and all of the real science. But they'd rather show you all the poppycock first, and then you have to come in and put the good studies forward. It's like what you guys were saying last week on the show with Charles. Something that I said, it was over 2 years ago, and it was with you and David Gerlowitz on the show, that in the future, tobacco companies will become pharmaceutical companies to try and get out of the trouble that they've caused over all these years, try and right the wrongs. And that's what they're showing. They're openly showing this now. But to have a bad study come out first and then have the real science come out and then back up the study before and say, well, no, thanks for coming. Yeah, you're right, Bruni. It's control the narrative and you control the outcomes. Simple as that. That's why. But all the really good science now is coming from tobacco.
Right. And they
have the money.
Skip's point is very, very, very valid, that they hid for years what they had because they didn't want us to know. Now they want us to know. And I'm not mad at them either way.
No. I've got a prime example of that one, Skip, and that is the studies going all the way back to Dow Corning and PMI, back to the 80s and the early 90s, and the collaboration between pharma and big chemical and biotech into the tobacco industry all those years back. And those studies were amazing. Yeah. But good luck in finding them. They've all been buried.
They're
hidden. if you've got 6 months, yeah, it'll take you about that long to actually read through all the documentation. It's quite horrifying.
So we're looking at the bad guys are good now, and the good guys allegedly were bad to begin with, and now they're worse.
Whoa.
I don't care who brings out the study. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me anymore. It used to. I used to think those evil tobacco companies. I thought that at first, of course.
Well, I was asked yesterday on the show I did with Sample Box, what the story is with some of the studies, and I actually put up the studies intervals from PMI and all of the real data there that they're finding for all of the studies on vaping and inhalables.
Yeah.
And that's real, but they won't classify that as real because it's from a tobacco company.
I got a little bit of backfire from you being on the Sample Box show, by the way.
Why?
One of the hosts on that show private messaged me last night about the possibility of starting some sort of church of vapors. They could get some sort of fucking exemption. And I'm like, that
was funny.
Okay, explain to me why you would possibly think that there's some sort of religious exemption for breaking the law. There is none.
Well,
now there's some sort of fallacy.
They do.
There's some sort of fallacy that exists that people think that, for example, this is a fairly racist thing, but that Rastafarian people, that those are like people from the Caribbean islands, got some sort of exemption for smoking pot because they claimed it was a religious sacrament.
Yeah, okay, point taken.
I actually believe that there are people that actually believe that happened. That didn't happen, because if that were the case, if there was some sort of law that made it legal for you to get away with breaking the law,
I thought it was funny as hell
because of some sort of religion. I would start a church of bank robbery. I mean, I said I got this PM and I was just like, what?
I thought it was funny as hell.
What?
There
is no law in the United States that would allow you to vape if vaping was illegal.
Oh well.
Because you had some sort of fucking religion. There is no religious exemption for that allows you to break the law. There isn't one. So just, this is something that's come up multiple times. Like 5-6 years ago, there was a dude that started the Church of Vaping Facebook group, and like,
I've always thought it was funny.
No, it doesn't. So that I saw that and I was just like, oh, really? Come on, man.
I was goofing around.
I'm pulling a Joe Biden. Come on, man. There is no, but I got that and I was like, and then he said, oh, well, Paul was on the show and blah, blah. And I'm like, don't listen to Paul.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny as hell.
Don't listen to Substitute Kevin. Don't do it.
Or Kevin. Or Kevin
funny.
For that matter.
Yeah.
Big Bruni said Taiwan vaping ban, Eat Not Burn, has been given a reprieve from the ban.
Yep.
I missed that.
That's interesting. So now they're looking at Heat Not Burn.
I am not a hater on the Heat Not Burn.
Nope, me neither.
Because I haven't tried it, but I know for a fact if it's like smoking,
you like it.
And
it is.
And I hadn't found vaping, and I had found Heat Not Burn instead, I would probably be a Heat Not Burn guy.
Yeah.
Because I did and continue to still like the idea of smoking.
Yeah.
I actually had a dream this week of smoking a cigarette.
Oh, wow. I haven't done
like
that in a long
even
time.
10 years in, like I must have had a stressful day or whatever, and I was just like, boy, that would be good right now.
Yeah, we've had the we will bash X, we will hate X. If it helps somebody smoke less or not at all, then it doesn't matter.
Yes, Skip. There was a decision, a legal decision in Mexico that contravened that they were actually they had banned heat not burn import into Mexico, and the court ruled that was unconstitutional in Mexico, and heat not burn is now legally importable into Mexico.
That's pretty cool.
Until something happens, until something happens.
Fergus and Paul, Fergus, I know you know.
I know Fergus. Well, I know of Fergus. I don't know him on a personal level.
I can't remember Paul's last name. Both wrote quite a few years ago now, 3 years ago at least, about heat not burn. And from what their reviews, like vape reviews, have been around for a long time, all of you. I read those on purpose because I'm interested in that, because I think it would work. And if I were smoking and somebody handed me one, well, it looks different, but let's try. Ooh. So both of them say, along with the nuance and differences that there is, it's not a cigarette specifically, and it's less harmful specifically. There's 10 stories of studies that they did themselves to say that. So yeah,
there's still a fair amount of maintenance though with them. That's the problem.
Yeah,
you've still you've got residue and stuff where your little stick goes into it. I tried one, and there.
Speaking of putting your stick into something,
smoking.
Monica Lewinsky's birthday was this week.
Oh God!
Are you, Patrick? Are you a fanboy or something?
What the fuck?
The Outgoes, man. Actually, somebody that I know, Sheila Zakaria, PhD, MSW, and Larry Gio,
there you go.
liked that tweet, and that's why it showed up on my feed.
I'll let that one slide then. All right.
Wow.
But then the segue was perfect because he just said putting your stick into it. And it just,
something about his TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
So Juka tweeted that
Juka.
I
love Juka. I love that boy.
Juka tweeted,
or man, or whatever he is.
These studies should convince the British National Health Service to reconsider its recommendation that pregnant women use e-cigarettes instead of cigarettes. This isn't the first time that Professor Glantz recommended smoking instead of vaping. And here's a screenshot saying using e-cigarettes increases exposure to toxic chemicals amongst most users. They would be better off just smoking.
Yes, he did.
He did that.
Fake. That is not.
This is from 2018.
That's what he said.
And then over here, Sharon Cox says it's abhorrent that anyone who is even slightly involved in health would tweet such thing. It is deliberate misreading of the evidence and a betrayal of vocation. Professor Glantz. This is a shameful, inaccurate tweet. And yes, I read the link. This is highly inappropriate, Professor Glantz. Some people actually follow your advice, telling them the smoke goes against all evidence of the dangers of smoking tobacco. Shame on you. And then it says, wait, seriously, better off smoking combustible cigarettes? This is akin to public health malpractice to tweet something like this.
It is.
So I just thought, and then this is a link to Glantz's new blog or op-ed. I won't call it science. Basically saying that vaping during pregnancy increases the risk of low birth weight babies. Yeah. Well, he holds no position of respect now. He's just a dude. He's just a private citizen now. Yeah. So
has he still got any of the associations that he works with or works for up on his Twitter? Or has he stripped all of that out?
Well,
I wonder if he's still got all of that up there.
He is it just says retired professor of medicine, director of Center for Tobacco Control Research and Education at University of California, San Francisco. So he is the former person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Bruni. I wonder if he could be sued.
No, he can't.
No? Oh, well, there goes that idea.
They're his opinions. He's protected.
Free speech, buddy. Free speech. This is America.
I'm going to share something, Patrick.
Uh-oh.
And I got to be able to figure what it is so I can...
If somebody would buy some shirts, then I could buy you a second monitor. It'd be much easier.
There it is. Okay, there it is, I think. Is that it? That's it.
Yeah.
So
National...
It's changed names. It's something else now, but this was 2015, and it's the National Summit on Tobacco. I don't remember. UCSF is more than a blog vaping it, and Professor Lance is a legitimate researcher and advocate for a healthier environment.
Where the hell did you find that? That's just wrong.
They replied to me because I said some smart ass comment probably, and I thought that was hilarious, so I've kept that in my files for a long time.
You apparently said that his website was a blog.
Well, I said it was bullshit probably, but yeah. But on occasion, for humor, when I don't have anything better to do, I'll throw that up there and say, "Hey, remember, folks, this is the opinion of dumbass and whatever incorporated over there." So he's also said non-nicotine e-cigarettes are a gateway to smoking. I've got quite a few quotes out of him. He's a fun guy.
Yes, Professor vaping zero nicotine e-cigarettes is as addictive as heroin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a new
and
one
it'll
even
lead to
for
more
me.
smoking, and it's just he's Professor Puff and stuff.
Wow.
Bruni, nonprofits can say anything they want. They can literally have carte blanche to do anything and say anything, no matter what it is that they want to say, and they're very careful about it.
If somebody could be sued for saying something that was their opinion, I would be sued. I mean, I would be sued by some vaping companies, probably.
Sure. So they're allowed to pretty much do anything they want under the nonprofit umbrella. That's why.
Not only that, but we have the First Amendment.
True.
And
which I appreciate.
The protections for freedom of speech are so broad that you can literally, short of shouting fire in a crowded movie theater where people can hurt, you can get away with saying shit. I mean, if that were the case, if people could be sued for saying stuff, Donald Trump would have been in jail multiple times. Yeah.
Oh, he blocked me, Mallory. He's blocked a few.
Yeah.
So,
Chapman has blocked me. I can't see his stuff anymore.
Congratulations. Somebody told you to tag somebody, and then it worked. There you go.
Well, no, I think what really happened was all the people that he hates tweeted, "Why aren't you blocked?" And then he said, "Well, I guess I need to block this guy."
What's that? Emeritus? What is that, Paul? He's a emeritus professor. What is that word?
Emeritus.
Yeah. Somebody told me that I shouldn't play with that because that's important, and I laughed in their general direction, like I do with Patrick. Really? Are you sure?
They're not that important.
So Connolly's been busy this week.
Oh, Greg.
So, there he goes again. Damn it. So apparently he testified. He testified in Virginia via Zoom.
Yeah.
This week, and he says, "I always look 4 beers deep when people screenshot me." He does actually look a little inebriated, or he's got the rosy cheeks. He's got a little bit of,
To defend him,
eyes-
he probably is wearing pants, though.
You never
We're
know.
not talking about Demetrius, so you know.
I mean, he could be wearing Wonder Woman
Oh.
underoos for all we know.
Don't want to show his tic tac off. You know?
I mean, Greg's a wild man. You have to sit down in a hotel bar with Greg, and then you'll find out he's mad, man.
Poor Greg, 4 beers in. Can he drink 4 beers? Is he old enough yet?
He is old enough. He is just over the age.
He just hit it.
Starting that one again.
Just checking. He doesn't look a day over 20.
I think he's like 24 now.
Man.
That's why we still constantly call him Greggy.
Yeah. Hard-working guy.
Did you see that Bernie saved people's lives again?
Yes. 24, was it? In one day?
I don't think it was 24 in one day.
Oh, okay. Oh, I may be wrong.
Mark is not in the chat room right now, so I can't testify to that. But I know that I saw a picture on Twitter.
I swear it was 24.
Of Bernie.
Are you on his page?
I'm on his page and I can't find it. Oh, no. Is that it? Yes.
Okay.
So I found it. So it says here in the tweet, Bernie brought in her 24th person to quit smoking today, not 24 in one day.
Okay. All right.
She was rewarded with a bunch of sashimi tuna and is now napping it off. And look at Bernie. Bernie's taking a nap in the window. Look at that. He's got a little step here for poor Bernie so that she can jump up here. You see that?
Well, yeah.
Look at Bernie.
And then Skip said that Bernie's trained all the delivery people. They bring in stuff for the dog. And Janine was in that chat. I was just liking tweets because I thought it was so cool.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I saw that, because Mark did say last week in the chat how
Bernie's got her own stickers.
Hamish wants to see a link to a glance tweet. What link are you speaking of?
I'm not sure which one he's talking about.
I can't link that one because that was Kevin's share. That wasn't mine. I don't have it. Kevin has it, but I think I think that he's referring to the glance telling people to smoke instead of vape. Tweet.
Oh,
that's a screenshot. That was a screenshot.
I'd have to look.
Screenshot.
Remind me in the morning, Hamish. I'll.
So do you want Hamish to elbow you in the morning and remind you? I mean,
just kind of nudge me on what is that? Twitter? You called it?
Is he spending the night or something? I mean,
no, because I'm going to bed tonight. I ain't getting back on Twitter. I got to rest
right now.
I got the thing up, but I got to rest up. The grandson will be here to tell me what to do in the morning. Early.
Well, I mean, that is your job.
Skip wants to elbow me.
Just wondering.
There are Bernie stickers. He has stickers of his own.
Yes, he does.
Of his very own.
He does. So, Paul, what was it that you wanted to talk about?
With what? With the TGA?
I don't know.
You got a new Tic Tac flavor coming out?
No. It leads on from what Colin Mendelsohn was saying and what the TGA is now currently doing.
So what additional powers were you referring to? You said something about the additional powers that the TGA has been granted. What powers?
Okay. The TGA, we didn't know that they were the ones actually setting the sets of fines for not having prescriptions, and then for shops, and different levels of fines. Mm-hmm. Fines that we're hearing about now is $220,000 for individuals with no prescriptions, $1 million for a shop, and then up to $11 million for corporations bringing in stuff. Why are they doing this? And we're only a few weeks out now from October 1. we still don't have all the guidance. And Dr. Mendelsohn and Alex Wodak are both saying there's still not enough doctors to do this. And under pandemic, how's this going to get rolled out in Australia? The vaccine fiasco is one thing. This is just going to be an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. None of this is going to happen the right way.
Bruni, is Bruni still in the chat room?
Yeah, he's here somewhere.
Well, keep talking. I was just responding to something. I'm responding to something that he said a while ago.
Okay.
That's the big shirt.
What's big shirt?
He said he wanted a 3XL.
Oh, okay. We're under the impression now that a pod manufacturer has also done a deal to supply all the pharmacies across Australia with a product. And no one seems to know much about that either. They're not looking at Australian manufacturing. They want the pharmacies to do it. The pharmacies don't have staff to look after vaping supplies and liquids and devices. Where's all this going to end up October 1? The biggest shit show on black market on the planet? Or
no doctors writing prescriptions.
Yeah.
Or very few doctors writing prescriptions. No pharmacy equipped to provide the product for the people with the prescriptions. What else?
And then the fines that they're handing out are just astronomical.
Yeah.
What do we do here? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Help. Australia's looking down the barrel of absolute stupidity come October 1.
But we predicted all of this.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't think we should have. It's just getting worse and worse by the minute.
There
was a link. I'll throw it in the chat.
Patrick, I think said this earlier. What other thing can you do where you're going to be fined that much for doing it?
No, what I said was, and I'll pull the tweet back up.
The tweet back up.
That's not what I said. Oh, it was a reply. It will be in the reply tab.
It's not like I'm putting a Tic Tac in your mouth, Patrick. It's not that big a deal.
Well, even if you put a Tic Tac in my mouth, it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
You wouldn't notice. Poor Paul's ignoring us.
No, I'm not. I was looking.
Here. I'll throw it back up. I'll throw this back up here. Okay. Look. My response to. Oh my God. There's the. Why does it keep seizuring me?
Stop that.
It's all Kevin's fault.
Yeah, that's all right.
So no, what I said was, in no area of addiction, dependency, or substance use are the users victimized, demonized, penalized to this extreme. We offer counseling, care, and harm reduction to heroin, opiate, cocaine, and methamphetamine users. Use nicotine due to stress, abuse, or being neurodiverse, go to jail.
Yep. And now they're even talking about 6 months jail in New South Wales, which wasn't there.
According to this, it says $2,200 or 6 months jail or both.
Yeah. So this is different from the chart I have.
Yep.
They've changed it again. Okay, so I can get rid of that. All right.
They keep changing it. Kevin, we can't keep up.
Paul, what? You're not Patrick. You're Paul. Paul, what is the fine for me if I were smoking, or if I bought cigarettes, or if I had you get them and bring them to me? What? Or maybe if you brought it with a drone to my house.
Now there's actually a fine for that.
Well, what's the worst fine that I can get for smoking?
None.
None.
If you're caught at a bus stop and you're smoking in a non-smoking area, between $300 and $500.
Okay, that's the worst I can get.
That's about it. Yeah, pretty much.
Huh. So that's not equitable at all, is it?
No.
See that, Patrick?
Yeah. I know.
That was a 4-syllable word I used, and I used it correctly.
You said
equitable.
Equitable?
Just making it known. So they're going to charge you. This is each offense. So what if I had 2 vapes? Is it double the fine?
There's no clarification on any of this.
You still don't know. Good. Okay, great.
There's no clarification.
But follow the rules.
So if you're trying to have a less harmful alternative, you still don't even know what is going to happen to you. They're just going to take your ass to jail,
right,
and then they're going to figure it out eventually.
Yeah. But here's the other question that I have, and this has not been covered by any of us on Twitter so far. What happens if we have multiple devices, we have multiple different nicotine strengths and different forms of nicotine? Do we actually need a prescription for each one of these? Hamish, if you can help me out, I'd really like to know, because this is where none of it adds up. Are we going to need separate prescriptions for all the different strengths of nicotine? It's got me baffled, because that's how it's worded as such. And what is a 3-month supply of nicotine? I don't know that one either.
Right. Isn't that each individual user going to be different on almost every occasion? I mean,
how we
what you consume and what Hamish and what Bruni consume are all 3 going to be completely, in my opinion, I'm assuming, different.
Yeah.
You can say in the chat what you use and what you think you use a month, but I bet you they're going to be different. Everybody's different.
Well, even the 3 of us, we're all different.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Patrick's MTL, your MTL. I'm restricted, but yeah, I'm between 6 and 12 milligram. So what? I'm going to have prescriptions for all my different liquids? That's a question that's never been answered. No one can answer it by the sounds of it.
That's a 4-hour doctor visit.
Holy shit. Are you serious, Michael?
For each different strength.
Holy shit.
So
I'm going to be walking around with a whole pocket full of prescriptions. How's this going to work?
You guys don't pay for your prescriptions, right? I mean,
I
mean the doctor prescribing it is not a charge. You get a charge for the doctor visit, right?
If you're on a benefit, it's classified as bulk billed. If you're just a regular paying customer, then not all doctors are bulk billed. So you're paying part of that fee. You might be paying between $35 and $50 for your visit to the doctor, and then whatever they're going to put on for the prescription. So we don't know. None of the costs are. None of it's been set out by anyone.
And I want to
We don't know shit.
I want to clarify. Becky Freeman and Chipman made that paper that Clive wrote about. Don't talk about this. They did not want the public to know it then. So I'll find that real quick, because if you're in Australia and you haven't seen it, you need to. And if you're not, you should read Clive anyway.
Yeah, correct. There's
he can actually write. So
yeah,
Oh shit, really? There's no bulk bill script for nicotine. Oh well, there goes that out the window. So you're paying for your doctor's visit.
So you don't need a prescription.
Part of it might be. No.
You don't need a prescription to smoke.
No.
How about patches? What about patches and gums? You need a script for that?
No, you have to be over 12. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, you have to be over 12. But I thought that was addictive, and it was. Do you guys have a rash of children?
Their brains are not fully developed.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently. Well, good pun. So
Paul is like 56, and his brain's not fully developed either.
So does it make you like Tic Tacs more if you have nicotine in your 12?
Yeah, that too.
So this is a dangerous chemical. You're a chemist. You got 7 degrees. How can they have children? How can children obtain 12-year-old obtain this dangerous product at the pharmacy?
Because, well, apparently nicotine in a patch is different to what we're vaping. And so you're allowed to do that. But we're not allowed to do this here.
So
and as for Holly getting this sorted, no, she can't. She can't get this sorted in the Parliament at the moment.
My tongue-in-cheek acting stupid is on purpose because I don't know about the Americans understanding how dumb I can be and how hard you guys are going through what you're not even sure you're going through yet.
Yeah.
They're making it as difficult as they can. And they're telling you why. And that Clive Bates link was, I think it was 2015 or 16. I don't remember now. It was 2016, May. They've been talking about it for a long, long time.
Yeah,
they did not want this to be seen.
Yeah.
So,
well, Hamish is going to do the same as myself, without a script post October, because they're just going to ramp up the illegal tobacco industry here and now the disposable industry that is being sold at every corner store across Australia. Yeah. So they've done the worst thing. Yeah, fine all you like. I hear exactly where you're coming from, Hamish, because none of it is put together the right way. I think honestly you need Colin on here to go right through the nitty-gritty of this and really focus just on Australia and how obscene. Clive Bates said it's nonsensical of what they're actually doing to us. They shouldn't be doing it. It's stupid. Yeah. Putting people in jail for trying to quit smoking. Wow, that's next level stupidity.
Yeah.
Simple.
Mm-hmm. So if you decided that you want to do methamphetamines to quit smoking, what would be fine?
Probably a slap on the wrist a couple of times.
Okay.
Unless you're caught with heaps of it. No.
Remember my tweet?
Yep.
If you're addicted to one of those substances,
you'll
be okay.
They approach you with compassion and offer you treatment and harm reduction strategies. I mean, if I'm a heroin addict, they're going to offer me methadone.
Yep, same deal.
They're going to say, "Oh, poor you."
Yeah.
Here's methadone, because harm reduction in those areas is embraced with passion and compassion, whereas people that are vapers that are addicted to nicotine, those are subhuman people.
Bots? Did you say bots?
No, I said subhuman people. Bots are even subhuman to the subhumans.
And then in the end, we're going to just send shit to you anyway. So it don't matter.
Now postage is looking at doing the same thing as in the US here. And we're just going, really?
Can they?
Don't play that game.
Well,
don't play that.
I don't have any dominoes to put on screen to show them falling down, but you get the idea.
I think it's sad that we would have to skirt any law to not smoke.
So hey, X-Ship, we'll just build a facility in Australia.
Patrick, you cannot be in charge. You cannot ever be in charge of shipping of anything.
I said X-Ship. I didn't say Patrick Ship.
Twitter's made me do it too, Skip, and I don't like it. I tweeted the first time it did it, I tweeted it to Frank Pallone because he's my pal. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right there, Bruni.
It is embarrassing. I didn't know that part either.
I just sent Demetrius a private message. I said I've given up on giving a shit what people actually think about me.
Did that just change? Is that sudden? Are you okay?
I mean, if you don't like something, and I'm having a friendly conversation. It's not Demetrius I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because Demetrius doesn't care what people think about me either.
Well, I don't like you, so I don't care.
I'm just like, if you don't like what I say on my show, get your own fucking show. Yeah, I mean, literally, that's all I get.
Have a better idea. Move along with that.
If you don't like what I say, just go say your own shit somewhere else. I mean, no, it wasn't Demetrius though, because we're pals. I was relaying something funny to him, and
he's probably not wearing pants though.
He could very well be ghosting us right now.
He probably is.
He's like, "There's
everyone's not wearing pants." Okay.
Hi, Deemy. Wink, wink. Man crush.
Anyhow. All right. Well, we've covered all the nonsense that we had planned to cover tonight.
Yeah. Why not?
Oh God. Russia.
What do you guys want to leave in the forebrains of everybody that's still watching us?
I want to wonder what afflictions some of us have or had that we didn't know about.
I know about all of my afflictions. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know any reason I don't. Well, I guess I might, but if I had some,
the voices in my head tell me what's wrong with me all the time, Kevin.
Mine sing in unison, but some of them are out of tune, and it pisses me off once in a while. They come out of tune, and I don't like that.
So all day today, the voices in my head have been singing a Faster Pussycat song called "House of Pain."
What?
Yeah.
There used to be a band called Faster Pussycat, and they had one really good song called "House of Pain."
That's the only song that they did, I think.
No, they had other songs, but that song has been what's.
So you're song bombing me. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So that song has been in my head all day, and it wasn't even their version. There's a cover version of that song by a guy called the White Buffalo, who has an amazing voice, and that version of the song has been playing in my head.
Yeah.
He also does an amazing cover of Bohemian Rhapsody as well.
Ooh, okay. So what I was saying is what Skip's, along with being cranky and old, allegedly, her words, not mine. I don't think I've ever called her old individually. I've said cranky.
You
old
did.
Broad.
You cranky old broad.
Cranky
man.
old broad in a whole. I've never said old on its own. So she's old, cranky, in late life depression, ADHD, autism, and she vapes. So that makes me curious of like my dad, who smoked 99% of his life. I smoked for 35, 40 years, whatever it was. And others that had smoked that you didn't know that they necessarily had problems, and that was part of their medication. I mean, it literally.
Well, think about this, Kevin. When your dad was a younger person, I mean, since you're like, what, 80, that would have been like 100 years ago.
Yeah. 43 was born. He started when he was 5.
So how many mental problems, how many different things that we diagnose people with now were not even discovered then?
Not even on the spectrum.
And even the ones that were being diagnosed at that time, how many people could actually afford to go and get diagnosed?
And if they were diagnosed, would they even talk about it?
So there were
you're hiding.
I'm sure the vast majority of people that suffer from mental illness or biodiversity issues, so you did it to me. I said biodiversity instead of neurodiversity. Neurodiversity issues 50 years ago, even 20 years ago, were undiagnosed.
Yeah. That
if they were younger people today would be diagnosed with something, right? Yep. So this nicotine dependency, these people that were smoking just to get by, from like 1900 until 1968, 67, or whenever the Surgeon General report came out, how many people were self-medicating through that period of time? Found out that nicotine helped them and just used it because it helped them.
Yeah. So this film it had a lot more importance.
That was the spark.
Yeah. And I've been saying that it's not addictive and it's not as important to me at the moment, and I don't really care. Dependence I'll accept, sort of, but that isn't my point anymore. It's what else can it do that they are suppressing for years, and they know it. I know they know it. They know it. And they don't have the balls to say it, and they're in public health. Think about it. This is a problem. Because if you had the cure for something, or you had an answer to help someone in a way that will enhance their lives for the better, you look at the hashtag below my face, and that's what it is. It's human rights, it's social justice, and safer nicotine. That's what I want to say, because Skip has come out with things in a few threads now, 2 or 3, I think, that are stunning to me because of 2 reasons. 1, she's brave and do it, and 2, she entices others and gives them the strength to do it. And for that, I'm thankful, because I like the idea that others don't have to be afraid to say so, period. It's not an embarrassment, in my opinion. My son has problems. He's on medication. He should take that. And when he doesn't, he is a pain in my ass. And we know when he doesn't take it. And when he takes it, he's okay. And it's hard to explain to him that it's a medical condition just because you can't see it. You can't see blood pressure with his mother. You can't see diabetes with his mother either. And she takes medication to control that. So it's the same medication that he's taking, that others are taking, nicotine or smoking in some form, to get that in their system. And it helps them. And it pisses me off because 30 years ago, I'd have told my son to grow a pair and be a man, which a lot of people were told that and were not diagnosed. So it's a lot bigger issue than us being chuckleheads on this show. It's an extremely important issue. It's way huger, and if you haven't seen it, go get it. Go get it on whatever the freaking channel is. I forget.
Way huger. Way huger. Hey, Andrew. Andrew's in the chat room. I have to ask Andrew a question. Where did it go?
I see Troop is in there too.
Troop has been there, where I just didn't say hello to Troop. Hey, Andrew, do you make these?
Make me an I Hate Patrick one.
I'm just wondering, because if Andrew makes these, right, bracelets, these are, well, you can also wrap your mod with it as well, but these are like flexible rubber bracelets, right?
Yeah.
We could get these with the Scallywag logo on it.
Yes, I made those for Troop. So there you go.
So you should make some promotional Son of Liberty radio ones like this with the Vaping Scallywag logo that I created for the new Scallywag t-shirt, which is right here. Yeah, we could get this logo on here, and it's we could get Son of Liberty Radio right on there. Yeah. Just for free though, because I'm broke as hell and I just bought a new car, so there's no money. I can't even get people to buy this damn t-shirt. So
he said contact me. Yeah.
I have one here. This is cool. Now this is not vaping related. I have all of these. This is Cyclops Vapor, and then I have 2 of the Plume Room ones, and then there's this one that says vaping, it's all we do. And this is from E-cig Source. Our lovely friend sent us those from E-cig Source. Shit, I have 3 of these. It's almost like I like the Plume Room for some reason. But I have another one. So there's this metal band called Mastodon, and they have an amazing drummer, Brent. And Brent designed this for some charity, and I have this one. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of these. Yeah, I keep them over here on the gun stand.
Oh, you can't say that.
I have a gun stand on my desk, by the way. Just saying. Don't come in the door, dude.
He said, contact me. Nothing is free, but I can make it cheap and quality.
You know, Vape Band has not offered to sponsor Son of Liberty Radio yet because I haven't asked, but I will have no problems promoting my friend's products. And Al might not remember this, but we did meet in Las Vegas at a show years ago. You know, just saying. Troop wasn't there though because he's an asshole.
Oh, great!
Oh, man!
No, I love Troop.
Man,
sadly, I can't order my candied Cavendish anymore. So,
yeah, well, that sucks.
I'm definitely on my last batch. Luckily, when I ordered candied Cavendish, I ordered it in bulk, and I had multiple bottles of it. And yes, it is Bran. I am sorry, Mowgli. I missaid that. Bran Hines. Nobody's correcting me on my own show.
Oh well, shit happens.
No, it is Brent Hines. Brent. It says right there, Brent. Right there by my finger. Right there. It says Brent.
Here we go.
There. He's not the drummer though, he's the singer.
Oh.
Where did fucking Kevin go?
I don't know.
Brand Daler is the drummer. I meant they do have an amazing drummer, but Brent Hines is the singer. He's the one that signed it.
Today is the day. Oh, okay.
Oh, he was also in a band called Today's Today. Yes. Yeah. I did say Mastodon.
Yep.
And yes, in Mastodon. Aha! Yes. So, anywho, did you say anything for your parting thoughts, Tic Tac?
No, not at all. All I was going to say is just please look at what's going on here in Australia. We know that we're a petri dish for the rest of the world. Please don't look at what we're doing here for tobacco harm reduction. It's not working, and the government's got it all wrong. And if you are here in Australia, start writing to the TGA and telling them that they've got it all wrong. You'll just get a nice little letter back saying, well, you don't know what you're talking about. But, yeah.
You don't know shite.
Yeah. Contact all your MPs as well, all your politicians, because we know that there's an election coming up very soon after the debacles with the government. So it's time to get rid of some of these arse-hats and put in people that are probably bigger arse-hats, but we might be able to deal with them. But, yeah, take care, people.
I seriously think we should be keeping an eye on everywhere.
Yeah.
And yes, you can promote the Plume Room because we love them even though they can't ship to us anymore. So the deal is, like, you know, I think that there are so many asshats in the anti-vaping crowd all over the world that they're beta testing different things in different places. Like, for example, Paul just said that they're considering a postal ban that we have here. They're considering that in Australia. The prescription model, that's the first of its kind that's occurring in Australia. But you damn well know if it works, other countries will try it. A sweetener ban in Canada could be the beta test of that model legislation that they could turn around and place in any other country in the world. So I say all this because there are a lot of times, whether you're in America and you think that this is only an American thing. If you're in Canada, you may think this is only a Canadian fight. I don't think that. The Canadians are very empathic and they try to help everybody. They're very nice people. Our Aussies and Kiwis, everybody's got blinders on and they're looking at the fight that's right in front of them, and they don't realize that this is a much bigger picture. And, with all of the talk that we've had about Bloomberg and colonialism or racism, that he's working all over the country, and he has a game plan. He has a long-term game plan, and literally they're just trying all these different tactics all over the world, and they're going to find the best 3 or 4 things that work in all the places, and that's the play. That's what they're going to do. FDA, whether you want to be that really positive person that's just happy that shit's happening and that you're working with the FDA and FDA's friendly with you, that's great. And like I said earlier, if FDA does the really cool thing and say, you know what, you're working with us, we're gonna let you stay in the market after the deadline. FDA is not the final authority on that. The judge and the courts at this point are the final authority on that, and they have a fucking legal decision. And Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, they have that feather in their cap, and they're not going to let it go to waste.
Nope.
So my thing is plan for the best, but expect the worst, or expect the best and plan for the worst. However you want to do that.
Stock up.
If you
can.
If you're in the business, do what you have to do, but also realize you can't put all of your eggs in that one basket, because you might think that you're going to get by after the September deadline, but I promise you, in my opinion, within 2 weeks of that deadline, if FDA doesn't fucking hammer us like the secret police and fucking go after everybody and slide everything down, I just really believe that those people didn't spend all that money suing the FDA just to let the FDA get away with enforcement discretion. I just don't believe that.
You can timestamp this. All the body parts people have the infrastructure to say, okay, go to the vape shops you're aware of and see what they're doing right now over the next week, and then they're going to do whatever they got to do. That's my opinion for the U.S.
I am worried. Don't call them vape bans, dude. Call them something else. I am extremely worried that everybody thinks that this is going to be, okay. And I don't think it is. I mean, maybe it's just that I've been shit on so many times that I've been here this long and seen every underhanded, sneaky bastard thing that they can fucking do. And I'm now expecting that punch.
Yep.
But I just really feel like these people are not going to let the FDA get away with being lenient. I just don't think it's going to happen. So we have to be ready.
Yep.
And if that means we have to have scallywags doing scallywag things,
be scallywag.
A scallywag shirt,
we'll just be scallywagging.
Then we're going to fucking do that. We'll do what we have to do to save smokers. So yeah, I mean, that's really, I want everybody, obviously all this negativity at the end of the show, I want everybody to remember to love each other, to treat each other with compassion and empathy. Everybody's not in the same place as you, and sometimes you have to wait for them, but do all the things, hug the wife, find the kids and plant a wet one on their heads while they're sleeping. Don't wake them up. Cause then they'll be all like wired. Enjoy your weekend. The Olympics started today. I think the opening ceremonies were this morning, which is weird because there's the time difference. It was like 6 a.m. here when they had the opening ceremonies over there. I had to TiVo it. Or it's not TiVo. It's whatever it's called now. I had to record it. I haven't watched it yet. So do all the things and enjoy your weekend, because we got Monday coming up and all the bad shit's going to happen on Monday. Stay active on Twitter. Follow Kevin. Follow Paul, the Tic Tac boy. Follow me. Follow each other, and just be good. Buy a Scallywag shirt, or buy the Neuro Enhanced shirt, or the Nicotine Enhanced shirt, or buy the Son of Liberty Radio t-shirt. They're all available in the t-shirt store. Link was in the chat room. And yes, there are multiple versions of each shirt depending on what kind of shirt you wanted and what size you are. I tried to make as many choices as possible available. So y'all be good. And I've got another design coming. It's going to be pretty cool. Bye.
See ya.
No, never give up, never surrender.
We're exporting a whole lot of really bad and dangerous rhetoric, bad research, and unfortunately it's being picked up and amplified in other countries.
Never forget the elephant in the room. It's actually such a big elephant that I don't think people can even breathe in that room, because it's such a huge elephant. It's the number one preventable cause of death in Australia. So when you are taking a precautionary approach, when you're like, no, we just don't know enough, I just tell them, shut up, because that just, I don't know, is killing people right now.
We're worried that, in fact, a lot of members of the public still think that using an e-cigarette is as harmful as smoking a cigarette. I mean, I have said that it would be tragic if smokers didn't quit and carried on smoking because they hadn't tried an e-cigarette, because they were worried about the safety of an e-cigarette.
It's not about really quitting smoking. Their ideological viewpoint against vaping is so strong and so weird. Like, honestly, it's just weird. I don't know why it invokes this incredible sort of anger from these people. I mean, this colleague of mine said to me when I first moved to get the inquiry up, her comment to me was, why don't they just use a patch? And I said to her, do you smoke? And she's like, no. I said, have you ever smoked? And she said, no. And I said, well, shut up then. You don't know how hard it is to quit smoking.
Engorged, Enos.